There was a very singular echo in this ravine. The rattling of wagons, I should say, resembled carpenters hammering at board inside the highest rocks. A report, I fucking missed it. The lowing of cattle and braying of mules seemed to be answered beyond the mountains. Music most notably had a very queer effect and resembled a person standing inside the rock and imitating every note. Oh, we're getting a call from Mom. Well, let's answer the fucking call from Mom. We don't want to ignore Mom. Looks like we're on a school bus. Oh god, I can't deal with this right now. By the way, since this is a prequel apparently taking place when they were young, everyone gets a higher voice than normal. Can't wait to see what I'm gonna do for TJ. I don't know how that's gonna fucking work. It's probably gonna be the Shun-kun voice. Oh great, a return of that. I stare at the screen, letting my phone vibrate until it stops. Well, I tried to answer it. I'll try to make it an excuse that it was on silent later. I had been a cringing, flustering mess since this morning. School and my geometry test had kept me only slightly distracted. With the call as a reminder, I feel a welling sensation around my eyes and my vision blurs. I suck in my cheeks before shooting a shaky exhale. Oh, there's the radio. Oh, a crackly radio. Oh, those are just fucking... I get bad ASMR from that shit, man. It's like Fallout all over again. Nothing will ever be the same anymore. My parents won't see me as normal anymore. Why? All because I was daft enough to try to rub one out on the computer before the bus came this morning. Oh boy, you gotta be more careful about that stuff. You can't be just jaking it in the middle of... Okay, real quick. Y'all can't see it because of the way I'm capturing this, but you know, I have Windows 10, and the Windows 10 on the little bar on the bottom, it's represented by a little symbol for all the apps you have saved to your home screen bar. For regular Echo, it has just like Chase's fucking derpy ass face. On this one, it has the outline of Chase's derpy ass face, but it's dark. It's so dark you can't see who it is. Holy shit, man! What am I gonna do about it? I thought they were at work. Mom is usually out by 5 and Dad by 6. But they took the day off on account it's their anniversary. Happy anniversary, babe. What are we gonna do for it? Well, let's see if our son is gonna wish him a happy morning. Oh God, he's jerking off. Oh Lordy. So not only did the cats me pants down, prick in hand, but also found out I was gay in one fell swoop of headphone-caused lack of spatial awareness. Oh. Hell nah. I heard Mom scream. Oh, overreaction much. I was so startled I jumped, my headphones coming unplugged from my laptop, blasting Fox X Stallion porn on full blast. Ooh, that's not good. Just when my dad came running in, I remember Mom turned and went to her room, locked the door, and I didn't see her again before I left. Dad, meanwhile, was sort of laughing nervously before I took off to my bus stop, but I could tell from his face that this was beyond awkward for him. I couldn't bring myself to words. Just to words. I just pulled up my shorts and ran to the bus stop. All throughout the day, the thought of coming home and having to face the shame was like being dunked in ice water. Each mile we travel closer to Echo increases that feeling of inevitable awfulness. Well, that's just a fucking... Ooh. That's just a harbinger of things to come for you, isn't it, Chase? Never. I am a ninja. My parents don't suspect a thing. I try to go over excuses in my head. I could maybe attempt to convince them that it was street porn. Both of the guys in the video had pretty visible beard scruff, though. I rub my eyes. The thought of trying to figure out what all my folks saw on the screen makes me want to retch. Makes me want to throw up. I could say it was a virus that took control of my browser window, and it was so startling a prospect that I didn't have time to fully put on my shorts. And the erection was unrelated. Fuck. I peeked through my pause at my phone screen, the symbol for a missed voicemail having appeared on top. I grit my teeth with extreme apprehension, turning my screen off and shoving my phone back into my pocket. Taking a moment to recombobulate, I look around. The bus is pretty empty besides me, the bus driver, who has been trying to get the radio to work the whole ride, and Carl in the seat adjacent to me. Carl, as usual, has his earbuds in with his expensive handheld out, playing some Japanese tactics RPG. He's probably playing... Well, this is 2008, so... Was the 3DS out by 2008? I feel like it wasn't. I don't remember. I never had the up-to-date shit, so... my whole timeline is fucked. Usually we have at least Jeremy, Clint, Heather, Jasmine, and TJ with us, but not today. Important things to note. Jasmine, that's Jenna. Jeremy and Clint, that we know them. Heather, I don't remember Heather. I think, wasn't Heather the girl that was with, when we were on Jenna's route? She was at the place and she was having like the trip and whatnot. I don't know. Point is, she's not there today. Not many kids who go to the school in Peyton live out in Echo. I'm pretty astonished the bus district expansion covered our town. The bus ride from Peyton to Echo usually takes about 45 minutes, though it feels much longer. Hey! Good ol' loyalty-free, hopefully, country music, especially now. Gonna turn that down just in case. 2008, November 1st, Day of the Dead. Ooh. Alright, now we gotta come up with a young Carl voice. Now, I don't think at this point he would have been a pothead, so he's probably just got a normal-ass higher voice. But his voice, even his high voice, was a little deeper than usual, so I'm not gonna put too much thought in the voices. If I try to fucking craft a voice for the character, I'm not gonna have any fucking fun with it, so it's just like, yuck.
Excuse me, sir. Could you turn down that blue grass? Clearly there's green grass outside.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one that should be burned and never used again. The Ram looks up from his game to the source of the music, slightly furrow-browed. Our bus driver grins back at him through the rear mirror in a self-satisfied fashion, her gummy Cheshire maw in full yet brief display. Realizing that she is looking back at him, Carl grunts, hunching up his shoulders a bit. Karen, why? She lets out a brief chortle. Well, seeing as I only have you two along with me today, I thought I'd put on some tunes and make your collar a little blue. Oh, she doesn't like the rich kid. Carl begrudgingly pauses his game, pulling out his earbuds and letting them hang over his horns. It was still weird seeing him likes this. Around age 14. Oh, it's 14? Okay. Yeah, Miss Corliss drives a school bus. Around age 14, his horns developed. A lot. He complained about headaches and neck strain constantly. Oh, that just happened around age 14. He told me he had to see a chiropractor and stayed over because his horns were so big his neck muscles hadn't developed enough to support him. Even now, a year later, now 15, I imagine, he still sits with a sort of low, hunched posture. That would explain in his sprites. He's always doing this number. He's always doing this.
No neck. Look at that. I could make my neck disappear.
I'm plenty blue-collared, yeah. I live in Echo. She snarks again. Boy, I have seen the size of your manor. No, you ain't. Never would have expected a sort like you to be so pomp and yachty-blooded. Jesus. Fucking Christ. Carl didn't say anything. His emerald gaze shifts some to the seat in front of him. Karen takes a glug from her soda bottle with her free hand, the other steering us through an on-ramp onto the freeway. The spa day I would have on just 1 hour of your... What? The spa day I would have on just 1 hour of your daddy's income. I feel bad for whoever works mani-panty that shift. Hoo-hoo. Jesus. She holds up her calloused right hand, her claws rather stubbed, even for a fox's standard. When I'm not driving you squirts, I do road crew for public works. Ain't your average mom, huh? She gesticulates with a swirling motion as she speaks, then lets her hand hang limply on the steering wheel. Well, that might be the new average here soon enough. Feminism and all that. You two will learn all about that in college, I'm sure. What are you two going for, major-wise? Both of us make no quick move to respond. Jace? I shift some in my seat, clearing my throat so that my voice doesn't crack. Well, I wanted to go into videography and film, but my parents weren't too fond of that, so I guess journalism or communications? Ah! Karen responds so abruptly that it makes me wonder if I said something wrong. Well, my nephew got one of them communication degrees from North Mountain State. Oh, how'd that go? Ended up being a $60,000 piece of paper that earns him $13.25 an hour working fixing old farts like us computers out of some big box establishment. Nerd Squad. Oh boy, that's Geek Squad. God, Jesus, fuck. This damn off-brand names. Oh, God, I got an earache fucking kicking my ass today. I think they're called. Hell if I know. She waves dismissively. I look over at Carl, who looks like all he wants to do is go back to playing his game. I'm still deciding, I guess. What about you, Bighorns? Carl blinks some at the casual speciesism, then scratches the back of his neck. You just plan on going straight to work for your dad right after you graduate? Mom, I don't know yet. Okay. Oh, I thought, because you ever have that moment where you accidentally call a teacher, like mom or something? Just me. But, he's gonna be going to work for his mom. Carl looks pretty uneasy with this topic. He also seems pretty embarrassed at having said mommy out loud. Were I in better spirits, I'd probably laugh. Everyone's good at something, Carl, and hopefully that is something you enjoy too. You're always quiet with your nose in that little device of yours playing games. Maybe that's your future career, something techie? Admittedly, Leo is usually the one who is most handy with fixing our tech stuff. Carl isn't even the best at video games. That title belongs to Jazz. Carl is quiet for a bit, tugging on the strings of his hoodie. I don't know. Looking out the window, I see the sun is setting as we get within 10 or so miles of Echo. Whoa! Oh, we passed the old abandoned water park, which I heard closed shortly after the bypass was built and all its passerby traffic was lost. I think for a moment I see what looks like some figures in the drained pool, though when I try to squint, I don't see them anymore. You know, I was around when that place shut down. I startle some, not realizing I was being watched. Both times, actually. Once in the 60s, then again in the 80s, when it reopened for a year. It was during the era of the big government giving out big old water project construction to the state of for pennies. LA being the golden child. Our county, as you two squirts are aware, did not become the next Orange County. Spoilers, as my son Keith used to say. She lets out an amused grunt before stirring up some. A lot of folks lost their jobs. It was like a little Great Depression in the middle of Mormon land. Echo has been going to tits for generations, though. Yeah, not for the good, not the good sort of tits either. The real ugly ones, like those. What's the name of the ones? Mrs. Tethers. Yeah, her. I'm taken off guard at that comment. Mrs. Tethers is a particularly nasty history teacher at PHS who is known for not being too keen on vulpines. I don't know what vulpines are. She does have a rather strangely lopsided pair. Anyway, it is ripe shame. By the time you kiddies are having kitties themselves, this town will be a feast for termites. Well, maybe not the manor. I see Karen's silver eyes focus on Carl. The castle, we used to call it. She says this bit rather strangely, as if trying to remember something specific. Carl is staring out the window, avoiding Karen's stare. In the 2 years we've had her as a bus driver, she's never spoken this much. Most of the time, she'd just be scolding Jeremy and Clint. I have this feeling she's been waiting for this opportunity to speak more personally with Carl for a while. Oh, looks like an old gas station. As we get closer to Echo, we pass more abandoned places. Oh, wow. Some were adorned with faded Art Deco stylings from the bygone modern era, whilst others are but rotting wood from the Mormon settlement days. In my current situation, all these familiar architectural fadings seem to evoke is a pulsating sense of dread for what is to come. Carl, your family has been here for over a century. Way I see it, least they could do is reinvest in what they capitalized on in the first place. Can you just change the radio station? Carl's horns are pressed up against the window, his tone low but his voice loud. Oh yeah? What do you want to set to? Anything but this. Carl looks down at his handheld, fidgeting with stuff in the character screen, but without the focus to keep playing. Fine, what do you want to listen to, Chase? We got country, soft rock, techno, pop, or random. I'm gonna go with pop. I don't know, nothing gets me jacked like some generic pop music. 98.1 FM should have that. What'd you say? You want this but louder? No. Fucking really? This bus driver sucks. Chase, kill me. End my life. Maybe I'll respawn somewhere more peaceful. This is good for you, Carl. You're getting blue-collared, albeit, you know, the hard way. If I wanted to get blue-collared the hard way, I'd borrow Jasmine's jeans, short shorts, and stand assumingly around the motel. Wow! Covering our ears and pressing our heads to the seats in front of us, we endure the hick musical cavalcade, as Jasmine deemed this station. Wow, they actually got a sign that says Echo on it. Holy shit, nice. Glancing sidelong out the bus window, I see that we're less than a mile from home. My paw pads start to feel clammy, and I clutch my knees tight. It is fortunate that Carl is currently preoccupied with burying his muzzle into the faux leather of the seat in front of him as I begin to tremble. Part of me actually wants him to see. I know it is just stalling, but I want to talk to someone. Anyone about all this. It is a small town, and whoever I speak to will know that I like guys, and I'll have to deal with them knowing that fact every day till college. If I go to college. I used to hate being so damn generic. Fucking Flynn whines at how boring I am all the time, but now all I can see are folks looking at me, seeing me as that otter who likes it up the rear, and not as generic Chase. God, that's what my parents will see me as too. That sort of deviant who lives in their home. I imagine them looking at the photos of me around the house now and wishing they could have that back. I've never really talked to my parents about relationships and sex stuff, and now I'm just shocking them with this whole new side of me. What an anniversary present I've given them. I look over and see Carl hunched over, his horns pushing into the seat, his gaze focused blankly upon the screen of his handheld. Upon closer inspection, the screen is completely blank, the device is no longer on. It seems he's not in the best of states either. I swallow, debating disturbing him. Carl might be my best friend, but we don't want to really have deep talks, especially since the lake incident. So this is after Sydney. Maybe I could text someone. I slide my phone out of my pocket, staring at the black screen, much like Carl is now. I realize when I get home, my parents are probably going to demand to see my phone and the messages, so I'll have to remember to delete them. I try to imagine how each of my friends would react, but this is honestly foreign ground, only alluded to in traded insults and jokes. Flynn especially. Oh, God. The loser drops the word in every other sentence as of late, though I think he just chooses it for maximum edginess. Jasmine, on the other hand, might be the most supportive with this sort of thing. You know what's interesting is that in Echo, you have the option to say that you're bi, but here, you're full gay. So, maybe it's a thing that comes with time, I don't know. However, she wasn't at school today. I eavesdropped Flynn mentioning something about issues with her parents and Jeremy to Leo, but Couldn't make out specifics. I don't even know how Leo would react to any of this. He makes jokes about poofy stuff all the time, but I could tell there's some unease there. Oh, so this is even before they get together, huh? That leaves TJ. Carl described him once as the moral gooey center of our sandwich of a group of friends. That being said, I'm not sure how much I can actually tell him. He's just barely crossing the puberty threshold right now. Plus the Christianity factor. I uncover one of my ears long enough to pull out my phone, my heart skipping a beat at the new voicemail notification. I quickly swipe over to my contacts. Ooh, this is quite the interesting little nugget. Oh, God. Look at this old iPhone, dude. Confide with Flynn? Hell no. Confide with Carl? He's busy. Confide with Jasmine? She's busy. Confide with Leo? Maybe. Confide with TJ? Doesn't seem like a good idea. My vote would be to go to Leo. Yeah, Leo is the obvious choice, so let's go with Leo. A lot of people saying Carl as well, but Carl came second. Leo came in first, so confide with Leo! Leo always has a weird sort of paternal vibe going on with him. If someone in our group is feeling down or about to make a stupid decision, he usually goes out of his way to set them straight. Jasmine says that this is largely due to the culture he comes from, the whole pack mentality thing. In truth, though, Leo is one of the first friends I ever made, back when I was like 6. I'm hoping time cuts through the stigma bullshit and he'll have an idea what to do. My thumb pad hovers over his portrait picture in the Messenger app. And here goes nothing. Hey, can I talk to you for a second? I wonder if I shouldn't have done punctuation or capitalization. Maybe try to sound a little more casual. Question marks, busy but what? Oh, look at Leo's picture. Look at that. Fucking shading and shit.
Busy but what?
That's definitely not the shit. He doesn't have practice today, so I thought he'd be free. Managing text messaging with Leo is hard enough as it is. With him distracted, it would be even worse. Looks like I can't do it through here. I think I should talk to you about it in person.
I see, okay.
God, he always does this. 2 to 3 word responses. He's still probably hanging out with the other football folk outside school. Lucky bastard does his own truck now, so he mostly doesn't come home with us anymore. I find myself biting the inside of my cheek and quickly force myself to stop. Okay. I stare at my phone screen for a long while and eventually come to the conclusion that this is a waste of time. He doesn't seem to be in any hurry to respond now. I don't want to fuck this up by badgering him with my whinging revelation. That apparently I love cork while he'd rather be doing anything else. As the familiar landmarks of Railway and the red rock of Echo Canyon comes into view and out the window, my restless anxiety returns. Stating myself, I swipe back over to my contacts. Carl came in second place, so we'll go with Carol. Guess I'll have to wait for the right opportunity. Right now, not being it. I'm about to slide my phone into my pocket when I feel it vibrate against the pads of my palm. I got Gorgonzola at the mini market in Peyton. Because Flynn's voice was so low that a higher voice for him is just like normal. Well, that's informative. I honestly have no idea what this message means. Instinctively, I try to respond with something jabby. I'm sorry, Flynn. I'm sure they have a cream for that. I don't usually ever text Flynn, mainly because he doesn't ever text back. So this is weird, I guess. It's a type of salad, you musky fuck. Look at his picture, though. Why are you texting me about salad? Looking out the bus window, I can see that we're approaching Carl's stop. As the bus turns on to the neighborhood road, I scoot over some, speaking up to get Carl's attention. So I'm gonna get off with you here, okay? Carl just continues staring at his blank screen for a second before blinking and looking back at me. Are you sure? That might be pretty messy with Karen watching. Might give me performance anxiety. I didn't get it because I botched the line, but that is funny. Carl stares deadpan at me. I rest my forehead into my paw and groan, though I end up snickering a bit. The bus comes to a stop. Carl, this is where you get off. Jace wants to get off too. The bus. You have enough for me, folks? Shit. I look back to Carl, and he gives me a look of understanding. He unslings his backpack from his shoulder, rifling through it. Carl looks up at me briefly, mouthing one word. Stall. Tell a joke, ask about Keith. Who's Keith? Who the fuck is Keith? I don't know. Oh, Keith is her son. Tell a joke. I do. I make a motion of holding something up behind the seat. Carl seems to have found a pen and notepad and is scribbling hastily. So, Karen, how do you get a North Mountain State grad off your property? Karen gives me a rather dubious look, her silver gaze eyeing me up. You pay him for the pizza. The old fox lets out a huff that is half exasperated, half amused. Quiet! What the heck? Be aware, Chase. My nephew is from NMS. Is 6'9" and played rugby. He might not take too kindly to that. Hey, Carl was the one who told it to me. Carl puts on a show of giving me a slightly narrowed look before slugging my shoulder. I don't have nearly the same level of cushion there as the ram, so even if it's for show, it still hurts. I feel something flutter onto my lap. As I pick it up, I see Carl has forged a note with my mother's signature style near perfectly. As much as the ram whinges about his lack of skill, his penmanship and art is not half bad. I give him a discreet, grateful look as we get up and move to exit the bus. Carl hops off first, his hooves making an audible clop noise upon the aged asphalt. However, as I move to hand my note to Karen, her calloused hand grasps my wrist instead of the note. I'm not that deaf and dumb, kitty. I've been doing this job a long while. She relinquishes my wrist, the note fluttering to the ground. I can feel Carl staring nervously at us from the road. You got awful comedic timing, Chase, but it was a good joke. I'll tell my nephew that one myself. She sifts some in her large driver's seat, the cadence of her voice changing some as she looks to the back of the bus. I saw you back there, puffy-eyed and trembling. You afraid of something at home. I know how people can be out here. She pauses, bending down to pick up the dropped note before tossing it into the bus's trash bucket. I freeze, feeling the tips of my ears burn rosy at today's endless cavalcade of embarrassment, especially with kids. I'm not sure what she meant by that. We do! Oh, Jesus! And definitely am not sure what to say. I look back at Carl. He seems to be averting his gaze now, his paws deep in his hoodie pockets. Alright, I get it. Nobody trusts the hick bus driver to know what it's like to be a kid these days. Look, run along now. Sorry for, grabbing you. I'm used to them shirts Jeremy and Clint doing and getting me in trouble. Them shits. Them shirts. I try hard and force a smile. Oh, thanks. I appreciate your concern and all. Yeah, they are pretty shitty. Hey, language, kiddo! Sorry. Also, tell Carl his fly is down. He looks like a damn fool. I see Carl stiffen, quickly reaching down and fumbling with his zipper as neon orange Superwolf box is visible through this fly. Karen just sighs. I feel my vote vibrate within my pocket. See you squirts on Monday. Oh my god! Well, that is... Jesus, I don't like it. That is closer to Carl's old Sprite. Good lord. I step off the bus beside Carl and the doors shut behind me. Karen heading back toward the freeway. It gets dark so much earlier now that summer is over. Echo isn't exactly a major township, the area deemed a census-designated place, so we don't get streetlights. Carl watches the bus fade off into the distance before pulling out his phone. Can't wait until I get my own car and license. He starts texting. Let my parents know that you're coming over. We should troll around on that 3D virtue chat game again tonight. I spent some money and got myself this big luchador avatar. Except gave him big old breasts. He's called Mama Rita. Mama Maria? What the fuck was that? I don't know. I don't have anything plugged in where I could use a back button on, so I guess we'll just have to deal. I guess that would be backlog, wouldn't it? Mama Maria. Weird. He looks up at me with a smirk before turning and walking. How much did you spend? Was texting my aunt missent you. I follow, pulling out my phone. I don't know, was just grabbing what I needed, $15 maybe. That's a lot for one of those kinds of games, especially just for clothing. So what's up, Flynn? I'm at the bus stop on Elizabeth Street. Well, like, the luchador mask I wanted was one of the premium items. So it costed the most. Costed. Everything else was dirt cheap. Every single girl in that game uses the same hair, the long curly blonde one that cost like $1. I think Jazz is in a shit place right now. She doesn't miss school ever, and Jeremy was saying weird shit about her at lunch. At least they say they're girls. I'm just trying to be unique. Otherwise, what's the point? It's a social role-playing game. Why risk getting ignored? I'm trying to keep away from home right now. I might stop by and check up on her. I actually have another account with a character that is more normal looking. I was going to after work. Her tit-dirt parents have been cunty as of late. You can see if you want, but doubt your pansy self can handle Jur while if he's there. Fuck, why was that so hard to read? I made him after you left last time. I don't care if him and Clint are there. He's like this big primate-looking dude with burn scars everywhere and is kind of an albino-y face. I feel like that's one of those sentences you slip into a conversation to make sure the other person's listening. I had the idea for the character sort of based off of a dream I had once. Look, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you this, but Leo is going to this party thing tonight. You should go too. Or not, I don't care. A party? Not an echo, right? Was it for the election? Anyway, I went to a lot of the in-game hotspots at first. A lot of the stuff you and I saw when we were messing around. It's for the Day of the Dead. That's today. Bunch of jocks and townie types are gonna be there. Route 65 at Parsons Manufacturing. It's sort of like you said. Most of the people there are just middle-aged housewives who can barely type a sentence. But I sort of went off-grid, I guess you'd call it. Not the spots that aren't advertised on the destination finder. Started finding a lot of weird shit. Leah didn't mention it when I saw him. You going? Like weirder than the shit we were making, ironically, yeah? There were these places which looked like more real-life houses, not the usual fantasy exotic stuff. Just people living in virtual families in these boring-ass-looking homes, complete with framed photos of screenshots of their characters. I got the impression that a lot of them were, like, foreign. I just said I'll be working, and when I get off, I'm heading to Jasmine's. Fucking deduce, school paper boy. I walked into this one flat, and these two... Okay, this segment is going on way too fucking long. I walked into this one flat with these two horse ladies in it. They had decorations with Turkish script everywhere. But they seemed normal enough. I was just curious. Fuck you. They had a TV item which displayed a slideshow of Photoshop photos of them with a baby. When I started exploring the house, I ended up walking into this nursery room and they got really pissy. Oh shit. Okay, we're walking up to the mansion now. I thought about trolling, you know, and writing, I eat the babby, and hopping up and down on the crib, and I don't know. It just felt like this weird mix of awkward and sad. Jace. Are you listening? Carl is standing in front of me with a concerned expression on his face. It takes a moment for me to respond. Yeah, just texting Flynn. He's actually responding to you? Yeah, I know. I look up the street, Carl's house sitting in its amber glowing glory atop the hill slope. The mansion actually looks like a mansion now, as opposed to just sort of like a house on a hill in the old game. I'd prefer this fucking sprite in Echo. Damn. Apparently there's a party happening tonight. Carl raises an inquisitive brow. Like, here or in general? I'm not sure what you mean by in general, but yeah, around here. It is for the Day of the Dead. Leo and I think maybe Flynn got invited. What? They didn't mention it to me at all. And I asked them to their faces if they had any plans. I shrug. Flynn made it sound like he was mainly just Peyton people coming out here. Yeah, but it is weird that they wouldn't mention that. It sounds like the most exciting thing that'll happen around here for months. Carl looks off to the side, shifting his posture some. I'd rather just stay home and play Virtue with you anyway. But seriously, what the fuck? The idea that two of our closest friends were keeping this a secret did make me feel pretty shitty. On top of all the other sensations of general shittiness I feel right now. It is at the Parsons Manufacturing Building on Route 65. That's sort of in the ass end of nowhere for a party. Maybe it's like a rave or something? I shrug again. I think we should go. Carl blinks, his expression akin to as if I just asked to rub his horns. First of all, dude, we weren't invited. Second, this is in the middle of nowhere. Third, isn't Day of the Dead for like... He pulls his paw out of his hoodie long enough to swirl it around in gesticulation, which is a word we keep hearing, apparently, as he tries to phrase this right. Latin folk. My blood is as Book of Mormon as it gets, dude. Fuck. Alright, first, Leo was there, so I don't see him not getting us in. Though it was weird he didn't invite us in the first place. Second, we live in the middle of nowhere. Anything local happening is technically in the middle of nowhere. Which still doesn't make it any more safe. Third, well, I don't know, I assume nothing too culturally sensitive is taking place in an abandoned factory, which won't save us from sticking out like sore thumb. Carl exhales through flared nostrils, lolling his head up as if being throttled by how much of a bad idea this is. Dude. He looks back down at me, a taut frown upon his muzzle. I don't know, I guess I'm kinda curious. Worst case, we stop in, smack Leo, and then make like Flynn's fetish and scat. Oh, that's actually... Oh my god, that's a way worse fucking sentence than I thought it was when I first said it. Jesus fucking Christ. Best case, we stop in, smack Leo, and they have food. I'd rip your tail off for a good cheese quesadilla right now. Don't do that. Oh, phone buzz is in my grip. You're welcome. I gotta go. Try not to suck too much cork on your way there. I wonder what these jokes are gonna be like once they know. That's good advice from Flynn. I don't know if you're gonna hold out the whole way, though. Glancing over with a start, I realize that Carl is leering over my shoulder, squinting at my phone. Christ! I exhale, turning my phone screen off. Yeah, I'll try my best. Carl lets out a brief, breathy bit of laughter before pulling out his phone. Lying to your parents time? Yep, your fault too. What should I say? You're hanging out at my house, that you're hanging out at Leo's house, that you're working on an art project, or tell the truth. The second most was art project. I'm going with that. Before we go though, I wanted to check up on Jazz. I see Carl give me a bit of an inquisitive look as if he isn't sure whether to protest this decision or not. It's on the way, sort of, and she wasn't at school today. Flynn told me that her parents have been worse as of late. Didn't know they could get much worse, dude. I know I may as well be the prep here, but they're like the definition of trailer trash. He pauses, then quickly adds, not Jazz, though. I nod some to the affirmative. Oh, my fucking hair tie is getting green screen. What the fuck? The fuck, dude? I nod some to the affirmative, then begin heading offward. I can see Carl looking a bit longingly towards his bedroom window, the aqua glow of his computer monitor visible from within. I have to admit that I am also kind of longing for some time on my laptop, though as I remember my situation this morning, my heart sinks. My laptop's probably been taken from me, and my parents probably are going to go through all my files and internet history. My fists clench in inward cringe. I just need to try and not think about it. Crossing over into Jasmine's neighborhood. Oh god, I am familiar with this fucking dirt path. Crossing over into Jasmine's neighborhood, the surface of the road shifts from asphalt to dirt, whilst Echo's pavement is laden with alligator cracks and crumbling edges. The dirt road looks even worse. Each step we take kicks up a plume of dust, the sediment covering the road's top loose and sand-like. The clapping of Carl's hooves has been muffled, though, making everything seem sort of tranquil. I remember specifically that there was apparently something that happened on this road that caused Leo to ban us from walking on it. So, yay! I wonder if we're about to see what that was. Which is odd, because hanging out with Carl is usually not something I'd consider a tranquil experience. Maybe the better term for it is eerie. I can see the faded masonry of the abandoned school building up ahead at the bend, the grass around it pale and dormant in the November chill. There aren't too many other buildings around beside it, though a few junk cars, cinder blocks, and steel barrels can be seen beside the road. Flynn calls this part of Echo Tetanus Alley. Dude, I usually don't even brave coming around here in the daytime. This is kinda... He gestures about with a limp flail instead of finishing a sentence. This is clearly out of his comfort zone, though I honestly think anything outside Carl's bedroom could be considered as such. You've never walked to Jasmine's house at night? Never without, like, Leo or something? I nod. I get it. If someone comes running at me with a syringe, I'm using you as a meat shield. You smoke meth. You don't usually inject it. If somebody comes running at me with a meth pipe, I'm using you as a meat shield. I let out a half-amused grunt, keeping wary of my surroundings. There is no wind, so the mesquite and sagebrush are static still. Ooh, a different picture of the abandoned school. One that appears to have been taken during the daytime, but whatever. We walk quietly for a bit, but as we reach the schoolhouse, Carl breaches the silence. People around here hate me, dude. I turn to look at him, the ram's face devoid of expression and his gaze distant. Well, Jeremy and Clint are just vocal about it. The rest just hate everybody, I think. No, like, you heard what Karen was saying, right? How she sounded like there was some collective simmering spite under the surface? Well, that's just... Don't say that's just Karen, because I hear it in other places too, dude. You're a spoiled fat rich kid. That's an easy target. My parents sell fucking ice cream. How can you hate the ice cream family? The ram waves his arms about before letting them flop ragdoll-like at his sides. I pause, hesitating on my response for a moment. Then it comes to me. Maybe they're just... intolerant. Fucking hate this guy. I wait a beat. Lactose intolerance. Oh yeah, we kind of got that one. Okay. Carl rolls his head back and lets out a surprisingly loud groan. Blinking, I hold up my finger to my muzzle. Shh, you're being noisy. I see the ram visibly recoil, increasingly self-aware. He sinks back into himself, dripping his paws into his pockets. Carl is really different when he talks to me in comparison to when he's at school around others. He's all quiet and such at lunch, or in between classes, but if it's just us hanging out, he can be kind of spaz. It's because of your ancestors, right? The town founder and whatnot? Yeah. He answers abruptly, looking sidelong. I think my scolding may have upset him. You know, it's a wonder that is such a thing around here. Sodomy and mass murder has a way of sticking around. What? Ow, ow, ow. Oh my shit, my fucking leg. My right leg has been on the verge of having a cramp for like 5 days in a row, and it fucking sucks because randomly it'll just be like, eh, and I'm like, no, no, please, and it'll be like, oh, okay, we'll wait. No, god damn it. Which one's worse, right? I say that a bit more of a forced, playful tone than I intended. Carl looks over at me, then shrugs. Depends on who you ask. I look back at the abandoned school. Something about it just gives me a weird feeling. Carl and I hadn't been inside since 4th grade, now that I think about it. Ooh, that's her house. Oh my god. Jesus, fuck. We arrive outside Jasmine's house, and that's coming from me, okay? I had a pretty fucked up house growing up. That is a shithole. Oh my god. We arrive outside Jasmine's house, the square stucco structure dwarfed by the 3-story school next door. I can hear some scraping noises coming from inside, like wooden dining chairs pushed across tile floor. As I walk toward the door, I see Carl stop out of the corner of my eye. Looking back, he seems frozen in place, his green eyes flicking from the entryway to me. You know they don't like me, dude. Can you handle this? I sigh, deciding it wasn't worth arguing over. He's kind of right, too, I guess. You going home? No, I'm just gonna chill out here. He leans back a bit, teetering on the edge of the road behind a little bit of gravel in front of the house. You look real inconspicuous, man. Thanks. Do you know what inconspicuous means? Well endowed. Jesus. I throw up my hands and make my way to the door, knocking 3 times. Carl, meanwhile, ambles off in the direction of the old schoolhouse out of sight. The skidding inside stops. Within a couple of seconds, the door flings open outward, so I'm nearly knocked on my ass. I'm instantly greeted by the smell of stale beer and the sound of football with the volume turned up too high. The sight of errant plastic bags and food containers scattered about tangerine shag carpet just completes the mood, really. A stout, fat, fennec fox stands before me, his eyes wide. He stares, though not meeting my gaze, as if he's looking right through me. Overall, Jasmine's dad looks like hell. However, he blinks some and refocuses, narrowing his eyes at me and dusting off his shirt. Chase, he rumbles. Yeah, is Jazz home? Inside, I see a head peek around from around the corner. The fur too splotchy to be Jasmine's. Jeremy. Fuck off, Chase! His voice is laden with derisive contempt. Jasmine's dad doesn't even react. It's bizarre how Jeremy never seems to get disciplined. She's in her room. Chores ain't done yet, so he can't go out and, play. He steps out of the way and moves back to the kitchen, where a plate of convenience store nachos and cheese sits. He reaches down to grab a chip but ends up just sticking his paw into the hot melted cheese. The old fox looks more confused than anything, his brow furrowed. 3 seconds pass before he actually grabs a chip. Meanwhile, Jeremy is hard-eyeing me from over the couch cushion. I realize now that he's only in his underwear, tighty-whities, too. Oh. Ooh, Jesus. With that, I fast-walk my way to the end of the hall. I guess we're going inside. That's not what I gathered from that. Stepping over some nasty-looking stains. I'm guessing Jasmine's mom's in the bathroom, so I give that wide berth as well. As I'm about to turn and knock on Jazz's door, I realize that it's completely open, the door taken off the hinges and resting against the wall nearby. Awkwardly, I knock on the wooden frame and clear my throat. Jazz? Chase. She states my name with a matter-of-fact air to her tone. I take that as my all good to enter and step inside. Her room is rather cramped. Fuck. Getting flashbacks. Her room was rather cramped. It adorned with an old metal frame single bed, a cedar desk, and the house's hot water heater. A stack of books and manga completely fills the space under her bed. It's serving as a sort of makeshift book nook. Her desk is surprisingly neat, and I recognize a biology textbook from school open on top. Everything seems fairly tidy, neat, and organized, but it still seems somewhat cozy. It is girly as all hell, truly, but it feels like a sanctuary in contrast to the rest of the house, even with the constant rumble of the hot water heater. Jasmine has turned away from me, sorting something in her backpack. I see her rub her face. Your, door moved. Not on its own. What do you need? Whoa! Look at young Jenna. Holy criminally. Jesus. I think it's a completely different... It's got to be a different artist. Like, there's no way... Unless it's just a different art style from the same artist, but... Good lord. After a sufficient amount of face rubbing, she turns to face me, a curious yet expectant look in her eyes. She almost looks as if she's sizing me up, but I think that's just the way her face is. You weren't at school today, and I just wanted to check up on you and whatnot. She turns, moving to close her biology book on the desk and sliding into her backpack. Well, that's nice of you. Her tone is abrupt and leaves me feeling sort of awkward and foolish. I guess. Hey, can I borrow your cell phone a second? I hesitate. What for? Don't worry, I'm not going to go through your text messages or browsing history. Just need to message someone. I slowly pull my phone from my pocket, though I'm definitely a little wary of handing it over. That doesn't stop Jasmine from turning hastily and plucking it from my fingertips. Sly fox. She swipes through and I hear the telltale click-clacking of the touch keys. Who you texting? You don't worry about that, and I don't worry about this recently saved images button on here. She narrows her gaze at something, the white light from the device illuminating her features. You can have a seat if you like. I want to know what's going on. Like in general, or regarding you not being at school today and your door being absent. It isn't absent, Chase. It's against the wall outside. I'm starting to actually get angry at this point. If you don't want to talk about it, then just say you don't want to talk about it. Quit trying to make me look stupid for caring. Her blue eyes flick from the screen to me for a brief moment, then back down again. There's nothing to talk about. Nothing out of the ordinary around here, just the average day in Cloud 9. Well, that was on Cloud 9, but okay. Okay. I see her mash her thumb in rapid succession against what looks like the delete button, and then she begins to type again. How you doing, though? I feel my raised jowls go loose at the question. She looks up from my phone, resting it face down on her thigh as she awaits my answer. Her shift to concern is a little jarring, though this is what I came for, really, isn't it? As much as I would hate to admit it, her lack of domestic bliss is such a common thing at this point, it's become a bit of a tripe topic. It's horrible here, but everyone knows that, especially Jazz. I guess she doesn't need anyone reminding her of it. I'm fine. She stares at me for a good 4 seconds before speaking. I can tell you're not. I know you have your psychotherapist to help you deal with your hallucinations and sleep paralysis. But you should feel free to talk to her about other problems in your life, especially if you're unwilling to speak to your friends about them. I've found that building up lots of negative emotions like this tends to attract more bad things. You know what I mean. Is it frozen? I stiffen with the startle as I hear a knocking on the window. Glancing over, I see 2 large pairs of horns silhouetted against the lower edge of the window pane. Jazz looks over. Jazz looks to have been clutching her legs tightly, though at seeing what I do, she relaxes as well. Carl wanted to wait outside. I understand. Yeah. I look at the carpet between my feet, then slowly raise to a stand. Lou's apparently at some party on Route 65. He didn't tell me about it. Yeah, apparently he kept it a secret from us. We're gonna go check it out. Would you like to come? I see her knead her knuckles against the comforter, her tongue pressed against her 2 front teeth. I wouldn't be able to get away for long, Chase. For now, it's better if I stay put. She reaches down, typing a few more things into my phone before handing it back to me. I see the flash of messenger history deleted upon my screen for a split second before it goes back to the usual background. Looking down at her, I raise my eyebrows silently. Thanks. I hope you get your door back. I will, one way or another. She nods politely and I make my exit. As I'm walking through the hall, I spy Jasmine's father still hunched over his nachos. Jeremy, meanwhile, is still on the couch, which I'm realizing is also his bed. He scowls at me as he catches me looking, the fox making a crude gesture before rolling over towards the television. I think he mutters another fuck off, but I'm not really listening. Damn. I'm honestly surprised Carl accepted going along to this party. His social anxiety is pretty bad at school. Maybe it's just that kind of night. I walk alongside him, still milling over what Jasmine had said. Can't wait till I get my license and car. I mentioned that already, yeah? Yes. That 65 is like 3 miles away. You can get your fetlocks toned and ready for the dance floor, though. I see Carl's posture stiffen at that prospect, his bright green eyes looking to the asphalt beneath us. You don't actually think there's gonna be dancing, is there? Like the movies and shit? I shrug, something I'd been doing a lot this night. Growing up in a town with less than 60 people has made what seems like a conventional teenage experience on TV seem utterly forgotten. The closest our group of friends had to such were birthday parties with just us 6 and our folks. Leo's dad let us drink a can of beer once. Ooh. I always imagined high school parties were just a bunch of kids sitting on couches and smoking weed. But this is Echo, so... Meth? Do you think Leo would go to a party where everyone smoked meth? I didn't think Leo would go to a party and not tell us. I pause, dipping my paws into my pockets. Jesus. I wonder if Leo thinks we're not cool. Carl actually turns to look at me, then quickly averts his gaze to the ground. Dude, I think that after all the shit we've been through, that wouldn't matter. The serious statement from him takes me off guard, and I feel instantly guilty for broaching that topic. I nod solemnly, another long pause drifting between us. Yeah. Carl slows to a stop, resting his paws upon his knees, his large back form hunched over. He groans once, his breathing is a bit ragged. I stop as well, moving on over to the ram's side. You alright, dude? Yeah, we've been walking forever. Could use like a bench or something. I'm sure there will be chairs at the party. Yeah, sticky sex ones probably. I smirk. I'm sure you'll get used to the scene in no time. We're gonna show up there and it'll just be Leo alone and in a gimp mask with a warehouse full of rubber dicks. What the fuck? What the fuck, dude? Sounds like a dream I had once. He lets out a sort of raspy laugh, pushing himself back upright again. I give his side a little rough nudge and we begin walking once more. The road here is much better maintained than most of Echo's on account of it being a state route. Still, it doesn't get much usage. I think Flynn told me once that it was part of the early U.S. highway system that was repurposed in the 90s. The interstate freeway about 30 miles to our east gets most of the traffic this road used to. If you want to get to any major city, you take the interstate, there being little reason beyond sightseeing to take the slow highway. I never really understood the appeal of people that do stuff like that, set the GPS to avoid freeways for the scenic stuff. Everything on these long highway stretches has been mostly shuttered without a gas station for 100 miles. It's just decay, entropy, and I don't get why anyone would want to be reminded of it for fun. I mean, I live in the middle of it, so maybe that's why it doesn't seem so exotic, enticing, or southwestern gothic. Failing local economies and being trapped in the midst of them just has a way of sucking the fun out of things. I'm sucking up the fun. Ugh. Choking on a little bit of fun there. Pardon me. Walking along now, the remnants of the bygone highway era still dot the landscape. To our right, there's an abandoned trailer park, most of it empty besides the crumbling admin building and one or two remaining trailers. They're all graffitied to high hell, though. It's funny how spray-painted initials crop up on deserted structures seemingly at the same rate rust and dust takes over. Sydney and Flynn convinced me to tag an outhouse when I was 10. The end result didn't look anywhere near as good as the bold yet indecipherable text that dawns the outer wall of the chipped 70s-era RV beside me. I ended up feeling so guilty I told my mom. We went back out to the outhouse after dark with soap and scrubbing stuff and managed to get it all off. The next day, Sydney and Flynn were confused as to where my tag went. I told them I didn't know what they were talking about. My mom thought that was funny. At the thought of Mom, I roused from my brooding, glanced sidelong to Carl. He has a dull, vacant look on his face, his mind clearly elsewhere. I feel a cold sweat take me in, a weird lurching in my heart. Christ, can I actually do this? To come out to him in the middle of the night, in the middle of nowhere? I'm gonna be stuck in this town for at least 3 more years, then I'm free, hopefully. If this goes badly, more badly than it already has, I just have to stick it out until college. Hey, Carl. The words leave my throat like with a forced-sounding utterance, surprising myself. Graham slowly blinks back into reality. Hope to go humanity, old mom spaghetti. Then responds, yeah? So something kind of messed up happened this morning. I see the flicker of his eyes shift towards my direction. This have to do with what Karen was going off about? I wasn't gonna ask her nothing. Mike Rider 464, hello, welcome, thank you for the follow, and hello, Stephanie. So he had noticed after all. Sort of, yeah. I see Carl shift awkwardly. He's never the person I go to with the serious stuff. I can tell he's wondering why I'm breaking our mutual unspoken let's keep it light pact. That being said, I definitely have his full attention. Oh, okay. What's up? I see the outline of the Parsons building now, but we're still a pretty damn long ways away. So I like guys. You can't really read his expression change in the dark, but it definitely did. Really? Yeah. Have since I went through puberty. Are you sure? You're pretty down to earth. I mean, sort of an asshole at times, but yeah, plain. I rub my temple, letting out a little grunt. You're making me feel better already. Hopefully not too good, though I doubt you're into boobs anyway. He grabs his pectorals, giving them a squeeze. Well, you got a purty mouth. Cringe instantly at myself. Why the fuck would you say that? Fortunately, I see the glint of Carl's teeth and know that he's grinning. So Flynn's advice was actually relevant after all. Does he, no? No, you're the first person I've told. Whoa, dude. That's pretty heavy. I try to think up something to say, trying to be nonchalant as possible. I guess I'm trying to show Carl that I'm not really any different. You're pretty heavy, so I thought you could handle it. He looks down at his gut, then back up again. Carl isn't really grotesquely overweight. His whole body is pretty proportionally large. Maybe not in height yet, but there's still a few years. Who knows, maybe he'll turn out huge like Leo. What does your mom and pop think about it? They didn't know until this morning. They caught me watching gay porn. Fuck, dude. I hear him exhale through his large nostrils. I make my parents knock. There's a mutual agreement that it isn't good for either of us if they walk in on a jerk session. Though they're never usually home anyway. Yeah, that's nice. You see the ram's form rise and slump again. A shrug. I don't think my parents took it well, so this whole outing is keeping my mind off things. I'm sorry, dude. Really? Yeah? Kinda cringe secondhand thinking about it, actually. He sucked on the chicken and then set it on fire! A single car passes us by. The first one we've seen all night. We stop talking as it passes. I can feel the eyes of the driver upon us. We're definitely an odd sight, an otter and a ram in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the night. So yeah, does this mean I get to say the F word whenever I want, or on account of my best friend being gay and stuff? I mean, as long as you don't turn into Flynn with it, then yeah, sure. This is like the best news I've heard all day. I can finally talk smack back properly to the 12-year-olds online. I snicker a little, and the silence falls between us. Not exactly sure what to say to them after all that. Carl seems a little less jokey too, his horns tilted down. So I know that he's staring at the road as he walks. It's fucking weird that I could, like, move this here. I could be like, whoa, I'm in the video game. Look at me being in the video game. Oh, am I in the video game now? I'm just a sprite. There you go. I'm fucking... I have to have a Leo pose. Be like... I'm gonna move this back down. Get that the fuck out of here. Is penis an instrument? It is getting noticeably chillier outside. The desert soil doesn't do a great job of retaining heat already, but it is much worse in the late fall and winter months. Cross my arms tight across my chest, envying those with thicker fur and pants instead of shorts. Peering ahead, I can see that our destination is still like a mile away. To my surprise, Carl breaks the silence, clearing his throat first. You know, I watch him from his side, not about to interrupt, even if I can't make the right words form right away. Sometimes when I'm, like, feeling bad, I sort of have this, like this pretend. I see him look over at me, then he smiles, shaking his head rapidly. Nah. What? Go on. I can't say this lame old shit. This ain't lame as shit. I just told you I'm gay and got caught watching gay porn. What's lamer than that? That's not even lame. That's just shit luck and way too good headphones. They were the in-earbud kind. Dangerous choice there, dude. Come on. Meh. He grunts indignantly. I sometimes... He takes in a deep breath, clutching his paws together inside the front pocket of his hoodie. Fuck it, I have this imaginary GF in my head and she chills me out. Wow. Oh, wow, me. I have a good imagination or something and it works out. Is she hot? Yeah, completely. Short spiked blonde head fur, dark gray eyes, real athletic body, double D breast, 2 foot long dick. She's amazing. What was that last one? She's amazing. You have one? I glance over and I see Carl looking at me expectantly. Are we just putting all our embarrassing shames out in the open here tonight? I did. I think for now, let's just do what normal grown-ups do and suppress the rest. Oh, come on. God damn it. We saw this in Echo. Young Chase is a bit of a insensitive prick. I see Carl sort of smile awkwardly, then rather quickly look away. If you say so. I'm honestly astonished how quickly the tables turned in this confiding. Even in the dark, I can tell he's trying to act all nonchalant and uncaring, but he's visibly tense as hell. That imaginary girlfriend thing must mean a lot to him. He's playing it off with humor, but I've known him long enough to see through that. Hey, I see him flinch, looking over his shoulder towards me. What's up? You're not weird. He doesn't respond beyond faking an amused grunt. I take it deep, preparing a further delving into the deep real talk that this conversation was about to become. I was feeling lonely 2 months ago and posted a personal mail-for-mail ad on the Peyton List website. 18-year-old otter here looking for a friend/mentor, or something was the tagline. Included a cropped and photoshopped picture of myself at the Peyton Rec Center pool, my face blurred. It was that time we went after we saw the Superwolf movie in the 3D theater place with you, Jazz and Leo. Since I went through puberty a couple of years ago, I was pretty sure I could pass for an 18. Pass for 18, my face was hidden. I was wrong. My post was taken down, and I got a few emails from administrators asking all sorts of questions. I took a deep breath, extra deep breath, no dick here, no siree, no, not here. Including some kind of vague, threatening stuff. It just really hasn't been the best, my best past few months. See Carl bounce his knuckles together, taking all that information in. That's weird. Trying to find some mysterious fantasy stranger on the internet who will make everything right when I'm not even remotely old enough. Because I'm too much of a pussy to risk being seen as anything other than what I've always been seen as. I let out a puff of air, fidgeting some and feeling my heart thud heavy within my chest. That's scary as hell, dude. Another long silence. Her name is Donica. She's an otter. Has glasses and kind of crooked teeth, so she doesn't open her mouth when she smiles. She's really into video games, illustration, and like clothes, I guess. When I'm doing my drawing, she inspires me, sure, sort of. Danica is like, it's a word for it, my muse. I'm nowhere even good enough to justify even having one. But she makes me want to do and make stuff, as opposed to, nothing. Well, sorry if I'm offending her if she's, well, present, but it's probably healthier if you had a real girlfriend, but for now, yeah, I understand. Graham smiles sheepishly, the lights from the illuminated Parsons building close enough now that I can see he's biting his cheek. Thanks, dude. No problem, man. Oh, here we go. Oh, there's some shit. Eventually we reached the Parsons building, an establishment that closed many of my lifetimes ago from the looks of it. It does look kind of shitty, but I want to get a closer look at it before we judge too much. About 10 or so cars and motorcycles are parked alongside the building, and neon blue light emanates from the inside. The thump of bass is palpable, even out here on the road. I look over to Carl, who is brown now. He was gray in Echo. Jesus. But yeah, I think this is just the early Carl sprite, because we saw that in earlier builds of Echo, but as well as when they showed we were going through Carl's computer to see pictures. And it showed the one where it was us, Jenna, and Carl at Pueblo, the new college. So we saw that sprite there. But, yeah, so it's a little weird. It still looks really fucking weird. And Jenna looks way fucking younger than Carl does, but that's probably just to do with the beard. I don't know. I look over at Carl! My previous demeanor on the way here has been replaced by tight-lipped tension. To be honest, I'm feeling pretty similar. I don't see anyone outside here. Everyone must be inside. We just gotta get in and look for Leo's big red ass. Or, his face. Any idea what we would say when we see him? Hi, Leo is a good start. Alright, sounds good. Cool. Neither of us moves. God, dude, what if it is a rave? Do people actually still have raves? I don't know, but I'm getting really bad vampire cult vibes from all this. Oh, it's a fucking Halloween thing. Of course someone's gonna sneak up on him. Let's check around back first, alright? Boo! Oh, dude, what the fuck? Carl practically leaps, swatting at the air around him as he gets some distance. Language. Oh, geez. Sorry, Carl. I didn't know I'd scare you that badly. Is that fucking TJ? Carl stares wide-eyed at the sheet visage before his eyes go to a lull. Hey, TJ. Ah! I called it. As soon as he said language, it was either Captain America or TJ. I legitimately thought you were about to start bleeding there, Carl. Real speciesist, dude. What are you doing here, Tej? And why are you dressed up like a ghost?
My mom dropped me off about 2 minutes ago. I can't believe you guys walked here. Mom would have given you a ride if you asked.
Not that I'm against you guys getting exercise or anything. As far as the costume, my mom and I put it together at the last minute. I didn't get to go trick-or-treating yesterday because of church stuff, so Mom said now would be my chance with this party.
Even under all that fabric, I can still picture TJ grinning cheerily. It is such a contrast to the past few hours with Carl. A contrast of this whole day, actually. It's very considerate of your mother, TJ, but, never mind.
How did you get invited but not us? TJ's ghostly head cocks to the side curiously at us. My mom just told me she heard about this fun get-together here and said it would be a good way to treat myself after volunteering yesterday. I didn't really think I needed one.
Oh, shit. There's a pause.
Oh gosh, I've never crashed a party before. Should we just go home?
Carl and I exchange a look. Flynn told me that Leo would be here tonight, actually.
Huh? He didn't mention anything of that nature to me. I'm sure he just forgot to, though.
Carl steps off the roadway and onto the smooth concrete of the entranceway, trying to get a stealthy look from inside from afar.
If you say so, man. I mean, it's okay to have a +1, right? But there are 3 of us.
See Leo in there, Carl? Carl is silent for a long moment.
I see Jack.
Who? Carl looks back to me.
Jack shit, you might know him.
Is this really the sprite we're getting of TJ the entire night? Oh, poor fucking innocent ass TJ. I furrow my brow at Carl. TJ physically covers his ears with his enshrouded paws. I hear the lynx mutter a faint stop. Oh, poor guy can't handle a swear word.
Is it weird that we've been out here the whole time and no one has come outside? Like, I'd assume people would want to come out for air, to smoke, or make out.
They might be doing that inside.
What? TJ's eyes bulge. How can you tell his eyes are bulging? I see 2 tiny little holes. What kind of party is this?
TJ brings his paws together, wringing them as he looks at us expectantly. We don't know, TJ. I kind of hope that you would.
The sort that Leo goes to without inviting or even telling us about, apparently.
Bitterness still hangs in Carl's tone as he rocks nervously upon his hooves on the concrete. I'm honestly still upset about it myself, too. This is the sort of thing I'd like us all to do together. Our first real party as a group. I don't feel nearly as confident without him with us. By the way TJ and Carl are acting, I think it's the same for them, too. I suppose Leo just has that effect on people. Ooh, vibrations. Oh, Christ, it's Mom. Oh, God. How in the hell am I even getting bars out here? Fuck this. I hit ignore and walk past Carl towards the blinding cyan light of the broken entranceway.
Dude, wait! Chase!
I step inside and am instantly greeted with the musty smell of dozens of years of structural decay. The scent of dust, drywall, and stray fiberglass insulation mixes with the more modern aromas of alcohol, perfume, and scented candles. Looking around, there are actually quite a few lit candles laying around, their flames contrasting with the colored gel matted halogen lighting. Whoever set this up must be a theater tech kid. With all the candles, I actually agree with Carl's notion that this is a bit vampire culty feeling. The music certainly isn't helping. I had expected something a lot more, I don't know, Leo calls it oompa oompa music, the stuff with trumpets and accordions and we get on the Spanish stations. Still no sign of anyone. This is actually getting kind of spooky. Then the fucking ghost shows up.
Hey, wait up, Chase!
TJ and Carl come bounding in behind me.
The acoustics in here are nuts. Why is it empty?
I don't know. I don't hear anyone yet.
That's weird.
Well, let's split up, gang, and search for clues.
TJ and I both look over at Carl, who seems to have a flat expression on his face.
I'm joking. I'm literally fine with us holding tails chain style at this point.
It's the Satanists. They will commit sacrifice.
I'm okay with just walking normally.
Oh shit.
Oh god, dude. With that, TJ steps up. Following in tow, we walk around the corner through a cobwebbed hallway into the former manufacturing floor. Here we finally see some people. This is certainly no rave. I count about 15 or so people at the far end of the room and a few more in the rooms behind them. Most seem to be surrounding a metal keg, though a group of about 6 girls look to be gathered around what looks like a yearbook. I only recognize 1 or 2 of them, and even then only vaguely.
I think I see Heather over there by the barrel thing.
TJ points a sheeted paw toward the feline girl by the keg. Heather seems to have a blue solo cup in hand and is laughing at one of the guys around her. Heather is one of the girls who rides on our bus. She lives out on the outskirts of Echo. She's not really a part of our group. I just know her dad is responsible for maintaining the reservoir dam. I have a feeling what's in the keg isn't fruit punch. And feel pretty boggled at how TJ's mom was the one who sent him here. Meanwhile, looking at Carl, I see that pretty much all his snark has dissipated once again. He stands in the doorway of the hall. The people in front start to notice us, nudging their friends and pointing. Some snicker, though most just look confused. Especially at TJ in his ghost costume. Feeling eyes upon him, the Lynx lifts up his sheeted arms.
Woo!
He approaches the grouping in character. Oh, TJ!
Happy Day of the Dead!
I don't think he knows what that even is. Confused expressions seem to amplify. As TJ nears, it looks like he's attempting to hug Heather. Having not been paying much attention behind her, she turns right at the last second, the Lynx wrapping his ghostly arms around her in a tight hug. She screams and all eyes shift to her and TJ. Get the fuck off me! Oh my god! The surprised Lynx lurches back with a startle right as Heather shoves his chest. He goes colliding into the floor with a hard thump, dust splaying everywhere. Those around Heather exclaim distressed. What the fuck, man? Who are you? Get over, you fucking creep, and maybe go get Derek. Heather, it's just TJ. Despite my shouting, I don't think anyone hears me, or at least understands me. They mostly all sound inebriated, judging from the slurs in their voices. I see one of the girls at the yearbook table get up and fast walk into the back rooms. I try to run up to TJ's side, though a large coyote steps in from a back room and blocks my path. He has a look in his eyes that seems to say he's looking for a fight. Oh god, no! TJ, meanwhile, lays on the floor with his white sheet coated in factory dust. From the sniffling noises I hear beneath the costume, I can tell he's crying. The stumbling coyote girl nudges him with their foot before emptying the contents of her cup on his sheeted head. Another equally drunk wolf attempts to pull her back, nearly tipping them both over. She puts on a dazed expression of motherly scolding. Yo, Maria, what the fuck? Don't pour booze on the rape ghost. We honor our dead bad touchers on this night. For some reason, this comment makes a fox fellow near the table, near to Heather bristle. Heather, this guy he was talking to me about, the fucker who... His fist clench. Heather, meanwhile, seems to be crying now, too. For some reason, her mascara matting the fur around her eyes. She just keeps repeating, I can't fucking believe this, over and over again, while her friends try to console her. The hell are you talking about? Leave him alone! The other coyote in front of me is not having any of it. He snarls. We're sick of you sick fuckers. I don't know any of you besides her! Someone next to Heather yells back, You leave Heather the fuck alone, musk shit! I look behind me and see that Carl is no longer in the doorway or in here with us. Foxeye seems to be trying to drag TJ now, limply smacking his sheeted... And his Lynx tries to pull back! No! I'm sorry. This is a misunderstanding. It's like, fuck, Leo, are you here? The coyote grabs my shirt, pulling at me with enough force that my muzzle ends up smacking into this trucker hat for him and knocking it off his head. I managed to swat his paw away, though not before one of the girls screams in my direction. Oh my god, he's attacking Derek! What? The hell? No, I'm not! With Derek snarling at me as he recombobulates, I weigh my options. I legitimately don't know how to fight. Flynn said that I wouldn't be good at it if I tried because of my shitty otter arms. I look down at my arms, they are rather shitty. I just have to go get help. The cacophony of screaming and snarling from around TJ is insane. These people are on fucking drugs or something. I held with the flat of my paws to the D-headed coyote. I'm not trying to fight you, I just want to get to... Fuck these people, man! The coyote thrusts his arm out, getting a glancing blow with his fist against my chest. Stumbling back, I scramble to my feet, taking one final look at the fetal position TJ before returning to run. Don't leave him there, you piece of shit! The coyote latches onto my shoulder, yanking me back. Something hard smacks into my skull, and I feel my mind rattle. I lurch back, essentially butt-bumping the coyote as my ears ring from the prior blow. I feel like I'm walking like a zombie now, staggering toward the doors. My vision blurs. Is that what being knocked out feels like? I clench my fists and keep up my pace, trying to blink the blurriness away. Eventually I reach the entranceway. You left TJ there, you piece of shit! Carl, Leo... As I reach the outside, my knees lock and I drop to the concrete. Pangs of pain shooting up my wrist, and I manage to stop from falling directly on my muzzle. Take a deep breath. I'm still conscious, at least half conscious. I continue crawling, trying to ignore the throbbing pain. Carl! Shouting now, my voice sounds foreign to me. Shrill, childlike, pathetic, and increasingly hoarse. Leo! My voice shouldn't be this croaky. I've barely talked today. I'm in the middle of the road now. God, why the fuck are you in the middle of the road? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, this is bad. This is very bad. What the fuck? I'm excited to play this, and god damn it. Where's Carl? I should get out of the road. I feel myself along the asphalt, feeling my skin scrape beneath my fur. I want to stand, but I'll probably just fall again. So I keep crawling, rolling to see what seems like some sort of detention basin. I stare up at the sky, fighting the sudden fatigue and gritting my teeth through the pain. First I think it's blood that got into my eyes, but I keep rubbing and realize that isn't the case. The sky is different. Like someone slapped one of those colored gel matte filters over it. What the hell? I rub my eyes again, attempting to focus. I can't stay here. TJ's in deep shit. Those idiots, those assholes. Sucking in a sharp breath through my teeth, I rise to stand, praying my knees don't lock up again. Find Carl. Find Leo. What the fuck, man? You just... I stumble out into the detention basin, feeling packed soil beneath my feet. Dirt road. Looking behind me, I realize I must have crawled farther than I thought. Parsons looks over a mile away? That can't be right. I see a van ahead. Looks rusted and old, but there's a light on inside. I step stiff-leggedly down the road a ways, reaching the bend where the vehicle sits. The same redness that the sky is tinted with pulsates from the interior. I try to speak, but no words come from my throat. It's like a dream. I want to do the rational thing and announce myself, but I can't. I move closer, peering into the dusty back window. Inside the window is another window, and in that window a little red dot in a corner, flashing on and off. In the window within a window, there's a writhing, flashing of fur, contorted and undulating in constant restless motion. Something is trying to hold it in place. I hear a clap and a cry. The clapping continues louder now, rhythmic yet singular applause. "This is what you want," says the voice that cried. I stare, slowly finding the will to speak. "No, I need to help my friends. Do you know where they are?" The voice shifts some, more urgent. "Weird gunfire coming from the town. It's real bad." Gunfire? I didn't hear anything. Please help me find my friends. "We can't find them all now. We need to go. They're lost." No, they're not. I'll keep looking. I'll keep looking myself. You're just going in circles. Oh, we've heard that before. I feel tears well up in my eyes, a lump in my throat containing a choked sob. Please. The van's back door's open. I'm standing too close and it pushes me onto my back. The red light is gone now, replaced by darkness, shifting shadows within. I see them now. Tarantulas! Oh Jesus, they're 8 legs fuzzed with white and rust-colored stripes. 2 of them were upon me with a haste, each on one of my arms. They bite so quickly I don't even have time to yell. They pull and tug at me, another pair at my legs. I'm pulled up and into the van, my body stretched upon a squishy something that begins to sink against my arms and legs. There's no more light, and I stare paralyzed at what I think is the ceiling of the van in the pitch blackness. It feels like restraints are binding me in place. I try to adjust my eyes to the darkness, but everything seems blurry and unclear. My head throbs like a heartbeat, the pangs of pain unrelenting. No fucking way. My fur bristles. Where did the spiders go? Breathing has become more difficult, as if the oxygen in the van was running out. I feel the veins in my neck bulge as I try to gasp for large breaths, but my body is not my own. Light seems to pop as the ringing in my ears intensifies. Something is above me and I can sense it. There's a garbled muttering coming forth from it, as if spoken through a poorly tuned AM radio. It sounds like me. Have you ever killed anyone? Oh my god, get the fuck away! No! Oh my god, fuck that! Fuck that! Fuck that! My eyes wrench open. I'm being dragged. Realizing I have control over my basic motor functions now, I stomp my foot down, staggering free of the grasp and pushing myself against a doorway. I raise my fist defensively, my eyes adjusting to the light. Chase! What are you dragging me around for? The Red Wolf stares gobfounded at me. The madre otter! I lower my paws, trying to get a sense of where I am. That same musty smell that means that I'm probably back in Parsons in front of what looks like an old first aid center of some kind. To think that workplace accidents at these sort of places were so common they needed one of these. Meanwhile, Leo seems to be gawking at me, his eyes intense, searching. I look down and notice that his knuckle fur is matted with dried blood. I swallow, clearing my throat. The hoarseness is gone, but the pain everywhere else sure isn't. Hey, Leo. Out of all the questions I have, one pushes its way to the forefront. Is TJ okay? The wolf continues to stare at me as if I were some sort of alien. Yeah, now he is. I see his nostrils flare, disbelief and anger in his eyes. His mom's on the way here to pick him up. Heather is down there fucking doing a mix of apologizing and puking. I just left him for a minute to check back on you. He folds his arms across his chest, leaning against the windowed wall behind me. There's a brief silence, and I feel his gaze swivel down back at me, as intense as before. How did this happen? Why were you two here? His accent is thick now, which I can't do without sounding racist, so I'm just not going to bother. Leo trying to speak faster than he can process the words in his head. Part of the question has me concerned, though. Just you two? Where's Carl? He was with me before, before that dick with the trucker hat hit me. I see Leo's jowls rear back in a silent snarl. He looks down the hallway. He starts to shout at someone named Emilia, though I quickly realize he's speaking Spanish. Emilia, huh? A feminine voice down the hall retorts, also in Spanish. Leo looks back ahead and grunts, closing his eyes for a moment. Then, rather suddenly, they reopen, the big wolf turning to me. Wait, you said Carl was here? I nod, then regret it because my head feels like a mashed apple. I haven't seen him since lunch. He was. You told him you weren't doing anything today, but Flynn told us otherwise. Leo doesn't actually look surprised at the reveal, though visible guilt hangs heavy upon his usually confident face.
He doesn't immediately respond, instead staring at my battered self in silence. My phone vibrates, though. When I check my pockets, it isn't there. There's a palpable sheepish moment where my ears flick towards the source. Leo! Stole her phone! The wolf blinks and awkwardly hands me my phone from his own pocket. We had to call TJ's mom. You were the one with the phone that could get signal pretty much anywhere, so I tried yours.
Sorry, I just got signal. Please be okay, dude.
I'm fine now. TJ's getting picked up. I'm here with Leo. Should have asked him where he is. I hear the sound of someone fiddling with a stereo and the auxiliary cord on the factory floor. Some arguing about music choices ensues. It seems that some people are still around for the party after all.
So, what do you all remember, out of curiosity?
I don't have amnesia, so relax, whatever your name is.
Hey, I felt the back of your head. I
Can't see.
You got a welt the size of a goose egg.
I reach up and run my fingers over my scalp, the bump rather prominent. Alright, well. I regale him with the events of the night lead up to TJ's bullying.
Those towny shits were saying that you were pushers trying to harass Heather for some debts.
Fucking what?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, fuck.
I kept calling for you! He looks surprised and scowls at the concrete floor beneath his feet.
I should have been there to protect all of you.
Seems like someone won the battle for the aux cord in the other room, and the music starts up again. Yep, still vampire culty. Well, I got hit so hard this guy turned red for a bit. His eyebrow raises some. I see his eyes move toward my head bump again. I remember stumbling around outside, looking for you and Carl. Shouldn't we all go check on TJ, who was left alone in the other room like people who fucking think not at all? Or maybe ask Carl where the fuck he is? Because obviously we're fine, we just got a bump on our head, and we're okay now. Maybe go check on the other people who are clearly not supposed to be alone right now, or the person who's probably out in the middle of fucking nowhere all by himself and scared to shit. But now you two selfish motherfuckers gotta take care of yourselves because you're gonna wind up fucking in the future because goddammit this is a prequel leading into one of the worst relationships I've ever seen illustrated in a visual novel before that was actually palpable. I fucking hate that shit. I remember stumbling around outside looking for you and Carl. I felt like I was walking for ages. The last thing I remember was a van. I see Leo shift, his shoulders raising up as high as they can go. That thing he does when he's tense. He looks at me expectant.
See anything else?
My brow furrows as I try to recall exactly what transpired. I remember it felt so much different than how it does now in hindsight. I think I must have passed out then. Everything else is too hazy to recall. Recall without sounding insane is more like it. Leo's shoulders lower. He seems to be in thought now.
I found you outside on the road. I thought you had been hit by a car or something when I got to TJ. He wouldn't stop crying and smelled like booze. Not that I'm trying to sound like your mom's, but you had me crazy worrying.
He rubs at his raw knuckles.
Got annoyed with that fog guy after that. It's been a weird night.
Why are you even here, man? He's taken visibly off guard by that question. The people here are friggin' nuts. He sighs, then slowly lowers himself onto a sitting position against the wall on the floor. He motions for me to do the same next to him, and I do, dusting away any leftover broken glass first, though. Because, of course, you're just gonna sit here and not care about any of your other goddamn friends, you selfish pricks!
A few people from the football team were going. Also, this one person invited me, and I wasn't gonna tell them no.
I'm about to ask who that was, but I'm interrupted fairly quickly.
A couple weeks ago, I was looking for lawnmowers for sale.
Okay.
On Peyton list.
Okay.
And I was bored, so I clicked around a bit. There was this personal dating thing ad posted to the picture with it that looked like you all censored up.
I feel a cold tingle creep from my spine to my fingertips at those words.
I thought I could even see me in the background. So I looked around a little bit on your phone while you were out.
Because of course you would! Why did we never see all the future shit coming with this kind of fucking behavior?
That same picture, but not edited for anything, was saved on in your images folder, yeah? Just checked.
I should be feeling angry at this complete invasion of my privacy, but I don't. For no fucking good reason, apparently. Because I'd be fucking pissed. I just feel paralyzed. I've known Leo since he didn't speak a lick of English, playing video games with me and Jasmine after school.
He'd just imitate what we said with a big dumb smirk on his muzzle as if he was saying something profound. I remember he got really hooked on the phrase, double jump that sucker. I'd been yelling it at Jazz for like 3 hours when we were trying to beat this platformer game I forgot the name of. From then on, every time one of us was feeling down or facing some challenge, he'd tell us to double jump that sucker. With that same smirk. Look up over at Leo now, trying to gauge his feelings, but his expression is indiscernible. Chase, you're like 15. You're already turning to complete strangers on the internet for sex shit? You know, you can talk to me. I wouldn't have even gone to this thing. Oh, you were the one that said you were fucking busy, you prick! Self-righteous sack of crap. He gestures to our surroundings. 2 girls I haven't seen before walk by us in the hall without even a passing glance. I look down, staring at my paws. I went from having the chills to feeling like my face is on fire. I tried messaging you earlier, remember? You said you were busy and never responded back. His brow furrows and he roughly presses his fist against his forehead. Fuck me, really? That's what you were on about earlier? That's what I was on about earlier? Really? Mr. Oh, you can come talk to me. I wouldn't even go here. I'm so fucking great. You're on about earlier. Really, dick? Dick bag? Dick cheese? Dick waffle? I thin my lips, looking up at him tentatively. Yeah, really. Shit. What were you busy with? The wolf gives me a sidelong sort of look, a tentative expression tugging at his jowls. Don't even think about trying to hide it from me. You looked through my phone without permission, you... Piece of fucking shit. Let's change the topic, Otter. This is the fucking topic! I'm not changing the topic. Hearing my own voice, I sound a hell of a lot more pathetic than adequately defensive. I try waiting for the girls nearby to be completely out of earshot until they stop in the hall and start showing each other something on their phones. Leo follows my gaze, letting out a quiet huff. Come with me. Rises up to his feet, pulling me up by my wrist. Not much of a choice as I'm tugged like a rag doll. I comply. Fuck this guy! Where is this? This is a murder scene waiting to happen! What the fuck kind of room is this? What could this have even been? Even when the building was operational, what the fuck is this? Winding our way through the remnants of the party-goers, I fail to recognize anyone. Oh, not even Carl, who you left on the fucking floor in a bloody mess, covered in booze from someone else's fucking secondhand drink, you piece of shit? He probably still got the fucking cloak on, trying to be a ghost because he's an innocent motherfucker whose parents fucking thought that this was a okay party. Stupid-ass parents putting their kid in a goddamn line of fire. Some good fucking parenting there, pieces of shit. Winding our way through, I already said that shit. 1 or 2 say hi to Leo as we pass, though most outright ignore me. I'm increasingly self-aware of how plain I look in contrast to these ripped plaid, donning, pierced face, and spiked hair crowd. Looking plain amongst those people is like being the most sane person at a fucking insane asylum. It is significant because everyone else there is fucking crazy. The t-shirt and cargo shorts look must not really be in at the moment. Oh great, he has us in the dark. Fantastic. That's exactly where I want to be with this asshole. We stop finally in front of one of the back exits. There doesn't seem to be food, booze, or drugs in this part of the factory, so we're alone. Once again, Leo turns his expectant gaze upon me, his brow knit. However, by now my nerves have evened out slightly, and I decide to counter the earlier question. Why do you care so much what I'm doing, that I'm like this? You didn't tell me about all this. So you're queer now, huh? I get that. Just fuck. You can do so much better than the old sags on Peyton list. Really? So that's the way you want to go about this conversation? Get a foot up your ass is what you're gonna get with that kind of attitude, you motherfucker. What the hell? That was my business, man, not yours. I just needed somebody to talk to, okay? So have you? Have I what? Met up with anyone? Screwed anyone? My eyes bulged with such a sharp reaction that even Leo holds up the flat paws defensively. Shit, alright, you really are new to this, huh? You could say that, yeah, my parents didn't know until this morning. Or I guess last morning now. That's real rough, Otter.
I cross my arms over my chest, letting my chin lull down as I stare at the dusty concrete floor. I'm going to try to see if TJ is still out front and get a ride home with him. I'll leave you to be with your friends. I turn, beginning to move, and I hear a growl from behind me. I don't know what that word means. He grabs my shoulder, piece of shit, spinning me around to face him again. Why do you have to be like this, huh? Be like this! You want to ask me why I'm being like this? Take a look in a goddamn mirror and maybe you'll find your fucking answer to your question. I didn't choose or chose to be like this. You adorable daftness. What? Do you know how excited I got when I saw that email? That my suspicions were true? It was like a fucking fantasy, you know? What? And I started wondering why he didn't tell me, and then I got all mad. Now I've ruined this. Yes, you fucking ruined this. It takes me a second to process being called adorable, a fantasy, and the reveal from Leo himself. I blink up at him. He blinks back at me. The wolf bites its tongue for a moment, trying to think before speaking. I wish I could go back in time and redo this. I'll kick the huevos in... What? Out of the scud who hurt you. I'll protect you from here on out and...
Sorry to interrupt. I'm going to be sick.
You're the fucking gold nugget in this den of fools, yeah? I wouldn't be any different than these sloshed up bastards if it hadn't been for you guys. I think back to when we were little, yeah? I don't remember any of what you were all saying, but I remember being happy because you and Jazz. And you know, as you grew and shit, I started seeing you different, like. It made me happy when I was around you before, but now it's like, I don't know. I can't describe it well. Just a whole new type of happy. Like, I fucking love you, but I love you, you know? So, final point, don't fuck strangers on the internet. My face starts to tingle, my heart thudding so loud in my chest I'm sure Leo can hear it. I inhale shakily. This can't be happening. I must still be dreaming. I'm cut off as I spy an awkward young shadow leering in the doorway, something bulky in his paws. Leo notes my shift in attention, turning about face to the figure. I see his muscles tense beneath his t-shirt. Chase, don't leave. I'll be back in just a second. Yeah, sure. Anything. I bump my knuckles together, watching the large wolf move to the doorway. I see him grab the shadowy fellow by the shoulder, trying to shift him away a little. Stop just fucking grabbing people, you asshole! The unknown guy thrusts what looks like a camera bag and tripod towards Leo. Leo shoves it right back. I see the wolf lean in close, his grip tightening on the other. He mutters something. The shadow whinges, his head turning. I think he's looking at me. Starting to feel rather awkward, I approach the two. As I do, however, the figure departs back towards the main factory floor. I'm never hanging out with anybody but those in our group from here on out, I swear, man. Yeah. You're so fucking trustworthy. He curses something in Spanish under his breath. I used to women like that before when I had to do a video story about the school news. The AV club rents them out to students for school projects. You, working on a school project? See Leo's muzzle pull into a tight-flipped hold. He stepped forward, taking hold of my shoulder. Stop fucking grabbing people! That's not okay! No, for the love of God, Chase, please don't ask me about it again. What the fuck does that mean? His demeanor seems more akin to begging than annoyance. Flickers of fear in his eyes. I stand in his grab, jaw slack. This is beyond strange, but I can tell he's serious about this request. What the fuck? Oh, right, but Chase. Leo, are you okay? I just want to get back to town with you, yeah? I guess I can respect that request. I'm assuming TJ's already been picked up by now. The last I saw of the Lynx, he was crying in a beer-soaked puddle. I feel like a complete asshole for not checking in on him in person. Now at least I wasn't as bad as Carl, who straight up fled home. Poor TJ is probably blaming himself for everything, too. Jasmine's stuck at home with her shitty family. Meanwhile, it turns out Leo is gay and likes me, and despite everything, the stuff he described feelings about me, I feel about him. My emotions are so damn conflicted right now. This emo vampire music is actually resonating with me. Leo releases my shoulders and moves toward the back door, tugging it a few times. He huffs some, then gives it a hard kick with his foot. One of the hinges snaps and the door falls into a hanging diagonal position.
With a swift stop, the other two hinges snap off as well, leaving the metal door on the floor. We could have gone out the front. He stares at the door at his feet before looking up at me.
Wouldn't have been as rebellious. You like destruction of property, don't you?
I break a mirror at one rest stop. I break a mirror at one rest stop when I was 8.
Because you didn't get the toy you wanted in your kiddie meal.
He smiles teasingly at me, the moonlight illuminating his backside. Really? You're gonna point that out right now? I can see the faint purples in the sky of inevitable sunrise as well. Hey, you know we don't have fast food joints like that around here. That was my one chance at getting that figurine from that stupid dinosaur movie.
Your hand was so damn bloody, I thought you were the coolest.
There was a pause. I stepped past him into the fresh, far less musty air, the faint scent of Leo's cologne now more palpable. I crossed my arms, staring down the rusty metal of the fire escape-like stairwell.
I still do.
Bullshit, man! Try to maintain a healthy amount of skepticism for his words now. Though looking at him now, and having known Leo long enough, I don't sense any visible signs of deception. My dad actually suggested I'd be a decent journalist since I'm pretty good at reading people and their emotions. Though he might have just said that to try to dissuade me from videography. Leo begins to descend the stairway, keeping his paws hovering above the guardrail just in case. I pull out my phone, using the screen as a flashlight for us.
I'm serious, you act so damn level-headed all the time. Everyone else in our group, not to be insulting them or nothing, because they're family, but I think you'd be pretty out there, huh? You're always so calm and balanced, though.
You mean generic and boring, man.
Nah, you're always hanging in the background, almost invisible-like. Then you say some snarky shit and everybody loses it. You're observant, yeah? Like Flynn, but less of an insulting shit about it. My parents, my siblings, they love you, dude. Mom's always asking me when Chase is gonna come around again.
We reach the end of the stairway, the insides of my ears probably ruby red by this point. The back lot of Parsons is mainly composed of old piles of dirt and some foundation, like they were planning on expanding before they shut down. I'm not gonna fuck an internet stranger, you can ease up on the compliments. I turn and smirk at Leo, a little in disbelief at fuck, I didn't read the rest of that. We start walking. I know I could go back, but I don't give a shit.
Good, I have no clue what you're into, actually.
Honestly? Leo looks at me a little warily, that same guilty expression crossing his muzzle once again.
And, you know...
Oh, honesty!
And, you know, muscles, I guess.
I see Leo's eyes light up, his maw pulling into a fangy grin. And actually, this is pretty frightening. His visage, in the middle of the night, were it anyone but Leo. Predators, man.
You should come to more of my games if you want to see those.
The internet exists too.
Yeah, and how'd that work out for you earlier?
I feel that pang of remembrance and the ensuing feelings of shame all over again. This whole night did exactly what I wanted after all, distracted me from my problem. I feel Leo's eyes on me, his face softening. He places his paw on my cheek.
You missed a lot this season. You weren't even at homecoming.
The tickets were like $30. I was saving up for that multiplayer driving sim game with Carl. We eventually played it for like 3 hours and never touched it again.
We won by only a few points, and I got 2 touchdowns. If you were there, I would have pointed to the stands where you were and everything. Embarrassed the shit out of you, huh?
I wouldn't be embarrassed. I'd be, well, I am proud of you. In the past, I had vocally lamented Leo's ascension to jockhood, especially his douchebag county teammates. Now it's Leo's turn to be dubious. He clicks his tongue against the roof of his mouth, shaking his head.
You and Carl just think I'm a different person now that I play varsity.
Carl and I would poke fun at him about it, and I think our jokes genuinely upset him. I've never really properly apologized about all that. In reality, I just didn't like the fact he spent most of his after-school time at practice. I miss him. You're not. You've always been a block-headed ball slinger. That hasn't changed. Leo lets out a deep chortle.
Chortle! You're gonna join the cheerleading squad now for me, Otter? I ain't flexible enough for that. You think I can do a high kick? No, but I'd pay $1 to see you trying.
I look down at my stubby legs. $1's $1. That's 1/4 of what I need to get a burger at the diner.
And I gotta film this, too.
The little shoulders tense, his gaze snapping to me.
Chase, you said I wouldn't ask about it. Doesn't mean I can't tease you about it.
What the fuck is it? What was he filming? Jesus.
He huffs, but I can tell that sort of cheered him up in a way. Just don't mention it around the group, okay?
I make a circle with my fingers in a gesture of acknowledgement before coming to a stop. I make sure there is no errant shrubbery around me before lifting my right leg as high up as it'll go. Turns out that is barely a 60-degree angle from its stationary position. I hear the wolf snigger.
Oh, come on. I'm just a sack of furry stone, and even I can kick higher than that.
We're two different species, fur stone. Give me a break.
Work for that $1, Chase. Defy species norms and negative stereotypes, as Jasmine says.
There are physical limitations here that no social sciences third-period class can overcome. And I don't think an otter being paid to perform for a wolf's amusement is exactly a progressive act.
I believe in you.
He says that as saccharine and scamalty. What are those words? As possible, eliciting an eye roll from yours truly. I lift my leg, this time bracing my hands underneath my thigh and pushing up. I managed to get my thigh much higher, though I'm having trouble fully extending at the knee. Leo notices and steps over, taking my calf and holding the small of my back supportively so I don't tip over. My muscles are starting to burn something fierce, and the position is pretty damn compromising. I frown as hard as I can up at Leo, who bursts into laughter.
Okay, now I wish I was filming this, Otter.
Dude! I wriggle free, rubbing my now sore leg before continuing onward. True to his word, Leo fishes his wallet out of the back of his jeans and hands me a crisp $1 bill. I pocket the dollar, looking back over towards Leo. Don't I get a tip?
The tip comes later. Jesus Christ.
I bury my face in my paws, groaning in contrast to the baritone cackling of the wolf behind me. Ha 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 ha! Jokes like that have a whole new meaning after tonight. As I peek through my fingers, I see that the sun has crested the edge of the mountains, and the world is bathed in grim glimmers of orange. I've been up for nearly 24 hours now, and my body feels more tingly than tired. We start walking beside the main road now, the lack of vehicle traffic creating an eerie stillness to the desert. Leo walks close to me to the point where our paws brush against each other from time to time. Yo, he has a truck. Why are we not fucking taking the truck? Are you fucking stupid? So, that party. One of Leo's large ears flicks in my direction before he turns, canting his head curiously.
Yeah?
That wasn't very Day of the Dead-y, was it? He shakes his head.
No, it was not. I think some of those deadbeats thought it had to do with the movie. I only really remember celebrating it once in my home country. Though I wouldn't really say it was a celebration, yeah. I just remember my mom, dad, and siblings gathering in a cemetery.
We placed orange marigolds in front of the abuela's graves, lit candles, and ate quesadillas. Carl would like that last part.
No shit.
The prospect of food actually helped him get over his social anxiety to come with me. I see Leo's face shift to a more tight frown.
Look, man, that party probably made his issues so much worse. They barely had any fucking food, too. Some tool named Robert just bought a bunch of fruit.
Better than nothing.
But yeah, I remember we just talked about the loved ones who have passed, told stories, and sort of acted like they were there.
So you actually believe that those who have passed can listen in on us when we want them to? Ooh, the music stopped. Oh, no, it was just looping. Okay. He looks up for a moment, the color of the sunrise now matching the hue of his fur. Sweat stains are now visible on his armpits. Ew. Fuck you. Piece of shit. His knuckles are still blooded and his head fur is a complete mess. That being said, it is kind of a good look for him. Not so much for yours truly, though.
No.
His gaze shifts back ahead, his tone neutral.
But it helps the living, you know. We still gotta get by.
A silence hangs between us. It is pretty obvious his mind has drifted to memories of Sydney. Mine as well. Sort of awkwardness is common now. Sharing trauma like that and carrying on like nothing happened is usually our go-to. It's been about 4 years now, and it hasn't gotten any easier. Too many reminders here. We're all fucked up from it. Leo's overprotectivism, Carl's anxiety, Jasmine's escapism, Flynn's rage, my hallucinations, and TJ. God, poor TJ. Maybe next year we could try?
Chase.
He looks at me, his eyes meeting my own before drifting to my paw. Slowly reaches over, taking grasp mine in his.
I just want to move on. To cherish what I got, yeah? I want to...
You can hear the word forget upon the tip of his tongue, but he can't bring himself to say it out loud. Instead, he squeezes my paw tighter. I squeeze back. My therapist told me that I should talk about it more, but it isn't something you can just broach in between talk of football and video games.
Sure shit is a way to kill any good feelings in the area, that's for sure.
Like right now.
Harder.
Brings our paws up in front of us, forcing me to look at our own interlaced fingers. Seeing the size difference, the red fur gripping my own, is enough to make my neck feel hot and my heart thud heavy.
Look what we're doing right now. We can shoot the sad shit about how tragic everything in Echo is, or we can go against the grain and be happy. I say let's be fucking happy.
Leo smiles down at me, letting our paws fall back to our sides. Despite his motivational wording, I can tell from the gleam in his eyes that he's nervous. His usual confident bravado shaken in this new territory. I don't blame him. They say this sort of thing is supposed to give you a butterflies in your stomach feeling. Yet as we walk along the abandoned Route 65, I feel less like I have butterflies and more like I'm about to jump out of a fucking plane. It isn't that simple, Leo.
Well, fuck it. Let's pretend it is for a while and see how it goes.
What exactly are you asking for? He rubs his forehead, his fanged teeth briefly grit.
I don't know how to explain it. Just cheer up.
Wasn't exactly eloquently put, but even by Leo's standards. I haven't eaten anything since lunch, swam, or slept in 24 hours. I've been beaten in the head, was unable to save TJ from getting bullied to hell, and my parents caught me looking at gay porn, and now will never look at me the same way again. I still have a lot to deal with. I have to deal with that.
I'm not exactly in the best mental estates at the moment.
Though this... I gesticulate to the two of us with a swirl of my free hand. Is, helping. Freaking me out for sure, but I'm glad you're here.
We'll make that alright. I bet Jasmine will be squealing when she hears about all this shit. This is like one of her comments. The mangoes.
Mangas. Turns out she actually reads that yaoi stuff after all I heard.
That's the anime porn with the Twinkie triangle types, right?
Triangle? What? I nearly choke trying to contain my laughter. You familiar with it, Leo?
Yeah, of course I'm familiar with it. I got a whole bunch of files of that sort of stuff saved in my sample music folder at my PC. Nobody ever looks in there.
Looking up at Leo, he looks genuinely happy now. I mean, a bit sweaty, fidgety, blood splattered, but so am I. Right now, I just have to focus on not ruining this. I'll never get too comfortable with that sort of thing. I did, and now everything's fucked for me in the eyes of my folks.
Man, your mom is the nicest lady. I can't imagine her kicking you out or anything.
I'm not worried about that. God, getting kicked out almost sounds preferable to having to face them every day with them having seen me like that. Imagine your parents found your Yaoi folder and how they'd see you from then on.
Well, they shouldn't have been going through my shit in the first place.
You're one to fucking talk, you bastard.
I think Mama already knows about me being gay, though. What? He kept asking me if I like Jasmine. Yeah. It was annoying me, and I just up and said she wasn't my type. Mama kept prodding me with, "Why, Leonardo? She is the smart one. She has cared for you in your times of need and countless occasions."
I tried to restrain my snicker at Leo's impression of his mother. The accent and high-pitched cadence, I can't... The problem is I get in trouble every time I do an accent because everyone's like, "Oh, it's racist." I'm like, no, it's just an impression. "Oh, no, it's racist." No, I can't fucking... If I just literally do the voice of a character as described in a game, apparently that's a problem. If I use it in a derogatory way, then yeah, that's fucked, but... context apparently doesn't fucking matter anymore. Here's my suppressed titters, looking down at me with a feigned scowl before hip-bumping me. I neatly go careening off to the side of the bike lane, which into the sagebrush-filled side basin, but he yanks me back by my paw he's holding. I try to imagine Leo and Jasmine together. It makes sense, I guess, but it is weird to think about.
Puberty in general has made things so much different. She went on asking what exactly my type was. I think I was frustrated at something at the time. Like, after a bad practice session, I said, "Not girls."
My eyes wide and picturing the confrontation in my mind. Jeez, what happened next?
I regretted saying it. Mama could see that plain enough on my mug, yeah? She just clicked her tongue, told me to let her know when I felt like talking more about that.
I'm assuming you haven't really followed up on her offer.
No, Chase, I have not.
There's a silence between us, mostly because I'm trying to think up a response that isn't, "Well, I have it worse." Before I can speak, we approach what looks like a short dirt driveway that leads up to a shack of some sort. Leo stops and points towards it.
Let's cut through here and head to my house through the rail yard.
Oh, the rail yard. Oh, that's a bad idea. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I don't want to deal with Jeremy right now in case he's awake and outside his house.
I sincerely doubt that Jeremy and Clint would be out and about being dicks this early on a Saturday, but I don't argue and follow along.
Upon closer inspection, it looks like one of those roadside dive bars you would see a lot on the reservations. This one boarded up fairly recently. The Joshua trees and the old-timey pickup truck give it an out-of-place feeling. As far as I know, Joshua trees aren't native to this area. Never heard about this place before.
I have. It was open for a little while a year or so ago.
Yeah? It would have been the first new business I've heard of around here since I was like 7, I think.
Like I said, it didn't last long.
Heard from Charlie that the owner got busted for some fucked up shit that Officer Mall Cop found in the back room. Christ. I mean, this is from Charlie, so I wouldn't believe all of it. Like what, specifically? Leo shrugs, a light frown on his muzzle. I don't know, he wouldn't tell me. We continue moving, Leo kicking an errant bean along, bean can. I was like, just kicking a bean? What the bean do to you? The can I can understand, because bean cans are assholes. Along in front of us as we walk. Can't believe Charlie's still alive. Turns out absurd amounts of meth is the secret to a long lifespan. Not if I find out you've been taking it, Otter. I'll shorten your fucking lifespan real quick. That's not funny. Fucking psycho. He smirks at me and I roll my eyes, glancing back at the side of the abandoned bar as we pass. Keith and Brian, and Keith, fucking Brian, dude. We know that name. What? I bet it's the same fucking Brian, because that Brian guy is fucked up. Booze Bastion. They made they showed us that for a reason. The only other Keith we know about, the only Keith we've heard of so far is the fucking bus driver's son, and I highly doubt that he had anything to do with it. But Brian, God, That's such a fucking... This is what I mean by if you've played Echo, then certain things will be like, "Ah!" to you. So I guess Brian was always in the area, just out in the backwoods or something. The sun is now high enough in the sky that I occasionally have to shield my eyes from it as we head due east. Oh god, the trail yard. Or rail yard, I should say. Right now, it's only gonna burn and I'm gonna run back to you. Right now, I'm trying to bounce upon one of the rails on the train tracks, whilst Leo does the same on the other. It is made a bit more difficult by the fact that we're still holding hands, each teeter from him yanking me along as well, and vice versa. Despite being, as he put it, a lump of stones covered in fur, he has a lot more poise than yours truly. I think my tail might be a bit too thick for balance and agility, it being more suited for aquatic usage. That just reminds me of how much I could use a swim right now, or at least a bath. I feel like a dusky skeever. What the fuck does that mean? A dusty skeever. I still don't know what a skeever is, and I must be smelling musky as all hell at this point. I'm a mess, and I'm a mess in front of Leo, who just keeps looking better and better the brighter it gets. I'm worried that he's gonna take one long look at me any moment now and realize he's made a mistake. Oh. Hey. I glance over tentatively, increasingly conscious of how clammy my paw pads are in Leo's grasp. I know we kind of glossed over it earlier, but how do you think the others are actually going to respond to all this? I nearly fall off the rail, catching myself with one foot on the ground. Technically it's cheating, but this isn't really a competition. What do you mean, all this? He clicks his tongue against the roof of his mouth, just like his mom does. I still don't know what exactly that means. Che stupido. I can go out on a limb and say he probably said stupid. My gaze falls and I feel my shoulders slump. Leo looks over, his expression turning apologetic, and I can feel his thumb rub the side of my paw. Sorry, I know we're both tired as dirt. Honest though, if I was in bed right now, I wouldn't be able to sleep leaving it all like this. So I guess I just gotta come out and say it all plain-like for you, Otter. You're my boyfriend now, right? I blink at hearing the words out loud, though when the moment comes, I don't even hesitate. You're my boyfriend, Leo. Oh, you're so cute. It would be a lot cuter if we didn't know how fucked up it got later, but in the moment, it even still, like he's still an asshole, but whatever. His pace on the track slows, then eventually stops outright. He turns facing me. We stand in the midst of the abandoned passenger carriers, the plants around us mostly dead or dormant for the autumn. I can't help but have this feeling that we clash with our surroundings, alive and new and something dead and decaying. Who thinks about that shit? I'm reminded of a word I studied for a Southwestern literature elective I took. The quaz. It comes to me as if recited on a recorder in my brain, the short paragraph with which I labored to memorize the night before my presentation. Quaz, a noun, both singular and plural, referring to anything strange, incongruous, or peculiar. At its heart it is the unknown, the mysterious. It rhymes with Oz. To a traveler, it's often the highest quasitum. 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 Hula. For me, everything, whether object, person, or event, when seen clearly in the depths of its existence, in its quiddity, is quaz. Quiddity quaz, spiggity swash, 55. And every road, every alley, the all to your parlor, the course of a creek, the track of a comet, are all are a route to quaz for any traveler. Any querist willing to question, to go in quest to ask the cosmic question of the medieval church drama. Quem quaeris, whom do you seek, O pilgrim? William Least Heatmoon. Let's be happy, yeah? Moisture wells within his russet eyes, and I recall the last time I saw Leo cry. It was after what happened at the lake. It was our first day back to school, and he gathered all of our group together.
He started out fine, managing simple English and explaining how he promised he was going to protect us all from now on. And then he just kept saying, "I'm sorry," over and over again. JadeMo was the first to step up and hug him, then Carl, then TJ, then me, and finally Flynn. We held each other outside of the road and sobbed. Flynn kept yelling something and seemed more incensed than mourning, but I wasn't listening to his words. Leo bawled until he was hiccuping, wrought with himself. We all did. Eventually, a passerby called one of our parents, and we were picked up one by one. The funeral had happened the week before, and our parents thought we were ready to reintegrate, that things were better. It never felt like things got better. But Leo was always there, keeping his promise. Now, my eyes brim with tears. I think it might be in part due to our lack of sleep, but I can't hold back. We stare at each other, Leo laughing and wiping his eyes with his palms.
You always suck in your cheeks when you're trying not to cry.
He reaches up, ruffling my head fur as he does so commonly. I sniff, trying to manage a challenging look, Leo looking blurry in my vision. I let go of his paw, taking him by the front of the shirt and pulling him down to my height. I shut my eyes tight and kiss him, my arms trembling as I do so. Large arms envelop me, his grasp first on my waist, but then upon my face as he holds onto my tear-matted cheeks. I realize I have no idea what I'm doing with regard to kissing, and I feel like a fool mushing my face against his, but Leo doesn't laugh. The kiss is over rather quickly, but I embrace him as soon as our muzzles part. I feel his head rub into mine, a neediness to his demeanor with which I share. We continue to stand each on our own rail, keeping equilibrium of balance at the center. This makes the hug sort of awkward in structure. It actually reminds me a lot of church pamphlets TJ had described the proper way to hug someone of the opposite sex. Fucking hell. Backs hunched forward, arms around the upper torso, pelvises at least a foot apart from one another. At least we're all good in the eyes of the Lord so far. It feels like several minutes pass, Leo occasionally squeezing me tighter or rubbing his paws across my back. I do the same. The position starts to feel a bit sore, especially with my recent battering, and I pull back. Leo seems to have been caught unawares, waving his arms as he tries to find his balance again. Ooh, he stumbles and falls off, his rump hitting the sandy gravel beside the rock. Ooh, shit, Leo, you okay, man? I hop down, though in my haste my foot catches and I topple over onto the big wolf's chest. Oh, of course, it's gotta be anime. Adding injury to injury. Leo just chuckles, rewrapping his arms around my midsection. We meet eye to eye.
Clumsy otter.
I sigh with relief and kiss him again, briefly, as I'm aware I haven't brushed my teeth in 24 hours as well. He strokes his fingers through my head fur, careful to avoid the bump in the back of my head before releasing me. I stand, offering a paw to him. He takes it, though just for show, really. He seems to have no problem standing up on his own now.
So before I was rudely interrupted, I asked you how you thought the others will take us now that we're a couple.
We start walking again, this time with Leo leading. He seems to take fancy with an old rusted crane, the wolf bounding up to the stepladder and clambering over it like he's 10 again. So I think Jasmine will probably dig it, Flynn will taunt us relentlessly, but harmlessly. TJ will probably be confused, but ultimately happy for us, and Carl will probably be... I'm not sure how he'll take it, actually. Leo reaches the top of the crane's steps. He peeks over the metal to beckon to me.
Really? In my head, I imagine when I tell Carl I'm a queer and stuff, he'll just say, "That's gay," then continue to playing his handheld without caring.
I don't want tetanus. I'm good down here. What? Oh, that was in response to the beckoning, not what he said. I don't want tetanus. I'm good down here. He nods, making his way back down, his chipper gait an utterly foreign sight as he beams at me. He's slap-happy hyper. Regarding Carl, he cares. I know he does. I told him that I was gay earlier. He's the only I've come out to, really.
You did?
Huh. I see his face visibly contort for some reason. We had a long journey from school to the party, and it was burning on my conscience, I guess. It seems to soothe him a bit, and he shifts focus.
How about your parents?
Oh, Jesus. One day they catch me with gay porn, the next I have a big-ass Hispanic wolf boyfriend. I don't know, man.
I want to tell mine about you. They'd be happy for me. I guarantee it, yeah?
My eyes drift down to my pocket, the weight of my phone still resting against my thigh. I shall have a voicemail from yesterday that they had sent me. I haven't listened to it. I see some of his excited demeanor diminish. Ooh! I'm surprised I caught that on the first one! To his usual, more concerned expression. Leo heads over beside me and we continue walking. I don't like that the train sounds are playing right now, dude!
Chase, whenever you say, you still got me.
He pauses, his fingertips tapping his hips as he thinks of what to say. Of course, the train hasn't come through this place in like 50 years, so they're probably fine. It still makes me wonder why the fuck we're hearing train sounds.
You still got all of us in the group, and if shit got real bad, you could stay with us for a bit. Jasmine does it all the time. Pa and Mama are used to having a house filled with kids, and since most of my siblings moved out, it's just me. TJ's parents... How the hell in that tiny-ass metal crate that they call a house, they have a bunch of kids? TJ's parents would never turn you away either. And Carl, God knows he has enough damn rooms that go unused. His parents are barely ever there. You could be like that one movie with a boy who lived in the walls of the house making spooky noises at night and eating their gorgonzola. I had a small chuckle. I remember how Carl used to be really afraid of ghosts a few years ago. I got to hang out with him and play video games as a coping mechanism excuse. Hey, they told us about that in the main game too. Still, now that I have my phone in my hand, I still have that same twisting dread within my gut. It's like everything is changing and my head is spinning. My folks will never see me the same again. They won't, because you're almost a fucking adult, Chase. The curtness of Leo's tone has me look up from my phone and back to him. I don't know. People grow up, and you have, and really handsomely. You have, and really handsomely, I gotta say, yeah? I look off to the side. The flattery is making my neck warm and my cheeks flush. Despite everything, I still can't believe it's Leo that is saying all this to me. Thing is, your parents are gonna love you no matter what. They're good like that. I know it. I bet my neck. You bet your neck. Interesting. He grasps his throat, looking down at me with bloodshot eyes and a smile. Other shit piles around here are the ones I'm gonna have to worry about, because no way I'm hiding that I have Chase the Otter as my boyfriend. And trust me, he raises up his large fist in front of me, showing the crimson which stains his knuckle fur. They try anything to harass you for it, I'll make sure they know the consequences. Jesus. I shift my focus from Leo's fist to his wild gaze. Man, you need some sleep. No, he needs fucking Adderall. I don't know. Adderall? I feel like that's not the right one. I don't know. He needs something. Leo blinks, then brings his fist back to rub the back of his neck. Fuck yeah, I do. He sniffs, rolling his shoulders some before looking back to the phone in my hand. Alright, let's listen to this voicemail, huh? Oh, God! He looks off to the side, sort of muttering embarrassingly under his breath. Double jump that sucker and whatnot. Aww, he needs some milk! It's so cringy, but I feel like I want to kiss him again. I smile wryly at Leo. He just huffs. Fair warning, though, you're still probably grounded as hell. I smirk, my chest feeling tight and my mouth dry. Oh yeah, I know that. I get yelled at if I don't call my parents back within 5 minutes anyway. I'll miss you while I'm in lockup, though. Leo grins lopsidedly, less wild now. I'll see if I can arrange a conjugal visit or something. I take a deep breath, navigating to the voicemail inbox section. Ready?
I could see Leo's family home in the distance now, some smoke rising up from the backyard. Must be grilling something. Or burning dead bodies! Ready? Ready. I press play. Guess we're not gonna fucking hear what the voicemail was, but that was the end of Leo's path, I guess. That's cool. So now, we will go in, and it has been requested that we do TJ's route. Well, we tried pop last time. Let's try soft rock. I don't know. We might be able to get through that get that soft rock station that is sometimes available right before we get into town. What'd you say? Want this but louder? Okay, so it's just the same shit all the time. God damn it. All right. So it was. I remember we tried texting Leo. That didn't work. So I guess one other person won't be able to respond, and I'm betting it's Flynn. No, Carl. We tried Carl as well. I don't know. TJ was requested, so we're going to go with TJ. I frowned at myself as my thumb pad hovers over TJ's contact image on the Messenger app. I remember when the picture was taken. It was at the old Yee-Yaw Riverway. I had just gotten my cell phone and was asking everybody to pose for a picture. Leo took on a real stoic, statuesque expression. Carl gave a dopey smile and made a peace sign. Jasmine put on her best sassy look, and Flynn stuck his tongue out. And TJ just gave a proper polite smile, as if the idea of being silly didn't even occur to him. I guess in his mind, I had made a request, and he wasn't about to sully it or something for a laugh. TJ takes friendship seriously, and I can't help but feel that's a quality in someone that would be really nice to have by me right now. So, can I talk to you for a sec? I'll keep it vague at first. Dropping a bomb might just confuse him into thinking I'm making some sort of a lewd joke. Ow, my leg!
Hey, Chase, what's happening? Happy Dia de los Muertos.
I believe that's just Spanish for Day of the Dead. I'm working through some bad stuff. I don't want to go home. Where are you? I feel a bit bad not really indulging in returning TJ's chipper mannerisms, but I really don't have it in me right now.
Oh no, what happened? Mom picked me up when we were finishing up my costume. She heard there was a party happening at the old Parsons building on Route 65. We leave soon.
I didn't know parties happen around here outside of backyard birthday stuff. I know TJ goes to a lot of different functions in his free time. He's kind of a popular kid, though pretty much all of them are based around church and community service activities. They're pretty much never in Echo, though. The only church we have in town is the old abandoned one from the Mormon Trail days. I think it turned into a school briefly during World War II, though it shut down soon after. The county tried to make it into a tourist thing once, but it didn't work. Back when my parents still went to church, we had to drive all the way out to Peyton at 7 in the morning. I hated it and would whine and complain every time. Sometimes I carpooled with TJ. The vibe was completely different. They discussed Bible verses and talked about their weekly self-betterment goals. I think I remember getting in trouble because I kept calling everything dumb when I was in the car with them one morning. I was really cranky. After that, my parents made me ride with them. In contrast, my folks usually just left on talk radio and as we drove in silence. Boring!
Chase, you're making us kind of worried. You can meet us there if you want. I don't think you need an invitation.
I'm a bit worried that this party will just be another acoustic guitar arts and crafts with the elderly affair. But the more I think about it, the location strikes a tad weird-like. Parsons is sort of out in the boondocks of Echo, which is still technically the middle of the goddamn nowhere. So I'm not doing too great, but yeah, I'll meet you there. Were it any other time, I'd pass, but not tonight.
Are you okay, sweetie?
Oh, I imagine that's from his mom. I can come pick you up if you like. I'll call your mom too to let you know you're with us. I'm a bit startled for the moment. I stare at the whole sweetie thing before I realize what's happening. Oh, hi, Mrs. Hess. Could you please not do that? I'll see you and TJ at the party.
We just want to make sure you're okay. At least let us pick you up and drive you.
No, it's okay. I'm with Carl. Don't worry. It's just teenage awkwardness and stuff.
Oh, Toby is learning all about that now. We had to buy him his first can of deodorant the other day.
Can?
As an otter, you must be having an even harder time with all the...
Account of the musk glands developing, don't you know? We stop by and buy you some demusking spray if you want. You have the nicest intentions, but goddamn. Oh my god, I did not expect when I started texting TJ that 5 minutes later I'd be forced into a conversation about my musk glands with his mother. I'm good with my supply for now, thanks. As the familiar landmarks of Railway and the Red Rock of I believe we've already seen. Oh no, the skip button's not even fucking whatever. My restless anxiety returns. Texting TJ and his mother did not help at all. I can see that we're approaching Carl's stop. We've already seen this. Why can't we fucking... We've already seen this bit. Well, last time we told a joke, so this time, let's ask about Keith. I do. I make a motion of holding something up behind me in the iron... So, Karen, you mentioned your son Keith. The name sounds familiar. Karen gives me a rather dubious look, her silver eyes eyeing me up. Well, I doubt you have recently. Keith's been gone for a good year or so now. Where'd he go? Karen scratches the end of her muzzle, still eyeing me with the same searching expression. He's dead. Dead to me, at least. What the fuck? Oh, sorry. Definitely not gonna prod there. Carl currently looks as if he's trying to camouflage into his seat, slowly sliding down it. Say. The old fox lets out a huff that is half exasperated, half amused. She waves dismissively. You switch gonna exit the bus or not? I got a big bowl of cinnamon chips and pineapple mango salsa waiting for me back home. I shift awkwardly in my seat. Out of the corner of my eye, something yellow flutters down by my feet. With haste, I bend down and snatch up the note, acting as nonchalant as possible. Carl's penmanship is actually pretty good. I give him a discreet, grateful look as he gets up and moves to the exit. I'm coming. Carl stops, looking back at me with the same deadpan as before. To the front of the bus. I think I hear Carl mutter, "That's quite some range," as he turns and continues upward. Carl hops off first, his hooves making an audible clop noise upon the aged asphalt. However, as I follow and move to hand my note to Karen, her callous hand grasps my wrist instead of the note. I'm not that deaf and dumb, Kitty. I've been doing this job a long while. She relinquishes my wrist, the note fluttering to the ground. I can feel Carl staring nervously at us from the road. I appreciate your curiosity. Keith and I live down in Colville, so I doubt you'd know him. He made some seriously questionable decisions regarding his amorous pursuits. I hate saying that word now. Things I could not abide by. She sits some in her large driver's seat, the cadence of her voice changing some as she looks to the back of the bus. Yeah, we've seen this. All right, let's move along. I doubt that the Carl half of this segment is going to be different, but this time, like an asshole again, we're going to be texting over Carl trying to have a normal-ass conversation with us. So let's get on with it. Follow pulling out my own phone. Oh. There's really no trouble, Chase. You and Toby's other little friends in your group are like family to us. You mean a great deal to Toby, too, especially after everything that's happened. Ooh. 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 I never had the opportunity to probably thank you. You all have been so brave. And your visit to Toby afterwards meant so much, Chase. We haven't seen you much since you and your parents stopped going to church so much, but we'd love to have you over for dinner sometime. Oh, I have one quick question for you, Chase. Oh! Hold up. Y'all saw that shit, right? Watch this. Watch it. You saw it! It was the same fucking thing that was on Carl's phone. When it was... Yeah, what the... Yeah, even the game is... I didn't even press the button and he just started saying that. Do you know how to delete messages on this thing? I'd rather not Toby know that I mentioned the incident. He's been doing so well lately. What the fuck? There was the same thing that was on Carl's phone. It was the same thing on Carl's phone. For this messenger app, you go back to the contact screen, hold over my contact name, then press delete conversation history. Hey, Chase, I'll be dropping Toby off at the old Parsons manufacturing building around Road 65 in a bit. I hope you feel better soon. Chase? Oh, Jesus. Yeah, just texting TJ, or well, his mom. Nice, dude. I look up the street. Carl's house it's there. Apparently there's a party happening tonight. Carl raises an inquisitive brow. Like, here or in general? I'm not sure what you mean by in general, but there's a lot of the repeated fucking lines. But yeah, around here in Echo. TJ got invited. Guessing it's for the Day of the Dead.
Well, he didn't mention it to me at all, and I asked him to his face if he was doing anything tonight. Seriously, a party in Echo can't be for some churchy thing in this land of heathens.
It's at the Parsons Manufacturing Building on Route 65.
That's sort of the ass end of nowhere for a party, too. Maybe it's like a rave or something.
The mental image of TJ in neon hot pants with glow sticks and a rave whistle comes to mind. Which is weirdly kind of hot. Yeah, don't think TJ is in the trance and techno type.
Maybe he just wants to get his
satisfaction. What? Carl says in a robotic tone. He smiles, his eyes half-lidded. I groan. I think we should go. Carl blinks, his expression akin to as if I had just asked to rub his horns.
First of all, dude, this is a TJ party we're talking about. Second, this is in the middle of nowhere. Third, isn't Day of the Dead for, like,
Latin folk, blood Mormons? Alright, first we can play your first you can play your handheld if it turns out to be boring and religious. The idea of trying to come out to TJ amongst the fundy Christian crowd is a nightmare.
Well, I don't know. Guess I'm kind of curious. Worst case, we stop in, smack TJ around.
Why would we smack TJ around? I'm not even saying that last joke. Why are you saying smack TJ around? Why would you do that? You think Flynn's actually into that sort of thing, or is that just like a running joke? I mean, you mentioned his cloaca or whatever near daily.
Dude, he's totally into that. I bet he's one of those
Oh, fuck you! Every fiber of my being does not want to know what that is. I give Carl a repulsed look. I read about it and I don't. Nope. Not even. Nope. We're done with that. Lying to your parents' time? Yep. Moving quite along. Number 1 was Tell the Truth, so we will try that one.
You know what? I'm nearly 16 and it's a Friday. My folks keep saying I need to be social, so...
Carl takes something on his phone before moving along to the opposite direction we were walking before. I am honestly surprised he accepted. His social anxiety is pretty bad at school. Maybe it's just that kind of night. I follow suit and walk alongside Carl.
Can't wait till I get my license in the car. I mentioned that already. Yeah, Route 65 is like 3 miles away.
We've already fucking seen this. Why can't we skip? God damn it.
Jesus.
So in the last one, when they mentioned meth, there's like, do you think Leo would go to a party where everyone smoked meth? But now it's TJ. The response is, I don't think TJ would go to a party that didn't have a crucified Jesus statue watching over the attendees, which if you think about it, objectively is kind of fucking creepy. Meanwhile, Leo is out driving around with his new friends and going to actual Peyton parties, probably.
Well, see it, most people don't actually play football for the game in high school. It's all about, like, the status.
I grunt to the affirmative, biting my tongue for a moment before speaking. I wonder if Leo thinks we're not cool. We've already seen this shit. I don't care. Carl tells me more about 3D Virtue Chat and some girls he met on there as we walk. Girls being stated with quotation mark fingers every time. I had tried talking with guys online myself, though like Carl, never with my real identity. I remember I was feeling lonely 2 months ago and posted a personal M/M ad on the Peyton List website. 18-year-old Otter looking for a friend/mentor was the tagline. We've already heard about this. I already heard about this. This does not look like a Christ camp affair.
I don't see anyone out here. Everyone must be inside. Just gotta get in and look for TJ's little gray ass. Or, you know, his face.
Everything with the asses. Oh, here comes TJ. Here is Boo.
Oh, what the fuck? How did you get invited to this, but not us?
TJ's ghostly head cocks to the side curiously at us.
My mom just told me she heard about this fun get-together here and said it would be a good way to treat myself after volunteering yesterday. I didn't really think I needed one. I thought I saw Leo here when my mom pulled up, actually. He was by the parking lot with someone else, but when I got out I couldn't find him.
That's weird.
He didn't mention anything about going to this tonight, so it surprised me.
You didn't tell me about this either. I see TJ shift beneath his costume. Oh, shit.
It was short notice, and I didn't think you'd have a costume or anything, or would want to come.
The ram holds up the flat of his paws to the sheeted one. It's fine, TJ. I get it.
We've already seen this. What? TJ's eyes bulge. What kind of party is this?
TJ brings his paws together, wringing them as he looks at us expectantly. We don't know, TJ. I kind of hope that you would. So did Leo and TJ go to without inviting or even telling us about, apparently? Bitterness still hangs in Carl's tone as he rocks nervously upon his hooves on the concrete. Oh, God. Oh, here it is. Oh, the hug, and she screams. Something that hadn't occurred to me when I watched this is that Heather probably is a former rape victim, because no one reacts that strongly unless something has happened before. Oh, God. This is just so fucked up. Yeah, Heather was high and drunk, but you don't have, like... She's having a reaction akin to someone who is reliving a traumatic experience. As someone with PTSD, I recognized it. I wish I had recognized it immediately. I recognized it in editing. Musk shit. I feel the veins in my neck bulge as I try to grasp for a large breath, but my body is not my own. Lights seem to pop as the ringing in my ears intensifies. Something is above me. I can sense it. There's a garbled thing with the AM radio. It sounds like me. Never have I ever killed someone. Okay, in the other one, it asked, have you ever killed anyone? In this one, it says, never have I ever killed someone. This phrasing makes me think of that game. Never have I ever killed someone. It's really alluding to the idea that Chase might have killed Sydney. Because, and then of course you see the face here. Bring it. Bring it, you fuck! Show me your freaky eyes! I see you! You don't fucking scare me! That's what I'm thinking, because that really seems to be a weird moment where you're kind of getting merged with the spirit of what I think is the murderer that killed someone, who did the murder in the coal mine, because that seems to be unrelated to the people possessing Jenna and Carl in the Carl route, who was John and James. We don't really know who did the murder in the coal mine. That seems to be an unrelated thing. So what I'm thinking is the person who possesses Chase, who winds up killing Sydney, who in Flynn's route you can see their dialogue walking around in what seems to be who seems to be getting attacked by someone who has a thick tail and is wet, who I imagine is either the real Chase or more likely Sydney. I really think that that's who's possessing Chase, and that's because everyone sees like people above them in like the reflected ceiling and whatnot. We saw someone. I think that is the spirit of the killer, the person the dark otter that everyone was seeing wandering around Echo before we even got there in the main game. Shit like that. I think that is the spirit of the killer. Now, I have no answer for what the fuck the monster that's patrolling the borders of Echo is. So, that's just all headcanon. That is speculation on my part. In TJ's route, you, him, and Carl play Never Have I Ever. My eyes wrench open. Being handled by something. Is it Leo? Is it Leo? Oh, it's fucking TJ. What the fuck? And he's still wearing the fucking booze-soaked cloak. The blankets. The pungent aroma of booze-soaking linen hits me before I can barely make out who's in front of me. The lynx bumps his sheeted knuckles together, sniffling once. Hey, TJ. I lower my paws, trying to getting a sense of where I am. That same musty smell means that I'm probably back in Parsons, in front of what looks like an old first aid center of some kind. Of all the questions I have, one pushes at the forefront. Leo and Carl, where are they?
Leo brought you inside. He said he found you out on a dirt road a ways out.
So that actually happened. Again, I'm thinking that Leo was just fucking in a van out back. Oh, Jesus, I don't know. What was he filming? I want to know. What the fuck was Leo filming? He fidgets for a moment.
That fox who was dragging me, I think he was intoxicated real bad like. When Leo found me with him and the others around, he and the fox started arguing, lots of swearing and that sort of stuff. Then he hit the fox guy over and over, even when everyone was telling him to stop. There was blood and... Gosh, I just want to go home.
Lynx walks over towards the decrepit bed, staring at it some.
I didn't know whether to let you rest on the mattress or not. I know you're not really a fan of spiders, and there were a few along the stitching.
I feel my skin crawl at the mention, an involuntary shudder escaping from me. Funny how mention of no, the septic suckers doesn't freak me out nearly as much as damn eight-legged things. Yeah, I'm good standing. Probably shouldn't be sleeping anyway.
Are you okay?
He turns to face me, and I have to admit that there's something rather humorous about hearing such sincerity from a guy in a ghost costume. I should be asking you that. He waves dismissively.
It's fine. I didn't even get punched or anything. I'm 13. I shouldn't be such a baby anymore. I curled up and cried in front of all those people, in front of Heather.
It had been a frequent point of teasing from us to TJ that he liked her. She seemed like a really rough sort, but for some reason he and her got along. From what TJ told me, they both used to be in the school's sports management club, but Heather had some family issues and had to drop out.
If I would have stood up for myself, or just stood up in general, Leah wouldn't have had to hurt Heather's friend.
Look, Teach, he was a jerk. A drunk jerk. Out of all the things to beat yourself up over, that's not one. Even with a sheet, I can see TJ's eyes, and he doesn't seem convinced. Where is Leo, by the way? He blinks.
I think he said he had to go take care of something real quick. He told me he'd be back, though.
TJ pauses. He's straightens with realization. He reaches beneath his costume and withdraws what looks like a mango. I stare at it for a good 6 seconds. Okay, what is the relevance of this mango?
For eating. This guy Robert brought a whole bowl filled with fruit. I got it for you. I think it might make you feel better.
We're at a Day of the Dead party. Doesn't anyone have nachos or carne asada, something like that? Link shrinks back into himself some, rolling the mango in his paws. Just accept the mango!
No, I'm sorry. They only have fruit.
I find myself gazing blankly at TJ and the mango. He steps back after a moment, placing the large fruit into my paws. I stand there, my head still hurting up a storm, holding a mango that a ghost had given me in an abandoned factory. A Day of the Dead mango, no less. Thanks, TJ.
You're welcome, Chase. I feel responsible for having invited you to this when you were already feeling bad, making things worse. I just want to make it right, you know? Now.
He takes a little step back, seeming to realize he's rather close to me.
What did you want to talk to me about?
Oh, I rest my head in my paw, the other still brandishing the mango. Still trying to figure out how to phrase this to someone like TJ. So, you know how... Oh, he never eats the mango? I mean, minor spoiler, but still spoiler also. Damn. So, you know how when you go through puberty you start liking girls and stuff, right? There's a moment of hesitation from the sheeted figure, but I see fabric shuffle in a manner indicative of a nod. When I went through puberty, I mainly started to see boys in the same way that people say a guy like me should see girls. My neighbor is vacuuming right now. The cat stares at me, and I see the expression of concern in his eyes shift to surprise.
Like being gay?
Yeah, that. You got it.
I can't help but shift nervously, unsure of what to do with my hands or the mango. He does a little huff.
I know what that is, Chase. I'm not that naive after growing up with you guys.
It's really bothering me that I can't read his expression right now.
So do you like any boys in particular?
I have heard so many people use that fucking phrase as a means of trying to convince someone else to say that they like them. It's not a good strategy. I looked at TJ speechless. After an initial surprise, he seems completely unfazed.
I mean, you guys talk about each other's, parts a lot. I didn't know if that was part of it, but I guess it might have been.
I can practically feel the burning of TJ's cheeks from here. I quickly throw up my hands. Oh no, that's just guy talk. I don't think the others in the group are gay. Like, what are even the chances of that? I decide to dodge his inquiry about who I like. That's a whole nother kettle of corn, as my grandma used to say.
Probably not very high, but I don't really know much about that sort of thing.
Outside of what they tell you at church, you mean? I see TJ visibly recoil, then recombobulate.
That's not what our church is like. I mean, if you went again, you'd know. One of our youth pastors, Asha, is one of those biosensual types, even.
Bisexual.
Yeah, that. She doesn't talk about it much. She's just, normal. And you're normal. So that's good.
I find myself smirking a bit. The way he's describing this to be reassuring is in his casual TJ's way is actually kind of cute.
Only God can really judge us for this sort of stuff, I think. People judging can just be like an excuse to be mean. I could start reciting verses to you about it, but I doubt you'd like to hear that. I guess the problem is that my parents found out about me being gay, being like this in a really bad way that made a bad first impression, TJ tilts his head. For some reason, his blue eyes flick towards the mango in my grasp. What happened?
Again, I keep my tongue still, trying to go over in my head how best to put this. I wish I had practiced this moment a little more. I don't know if you should hear about this sort of stuff, TJ. He steps forward, closer. We're about 1.5 feet apart now.
I'm not a baby. I want to help, please. It's the least I could do.
I stood a little wide-eyed up at him. Up at him? Are we? Oh, we're sitting down. And he covers his face with his sheeted arms.
I'm sorry, Chase.
I can hear the quivering in his voice. There's a strange amount of intensity from the links. I decided to just be blunt. I got caught watching gay pornography on the computer this morning. That's how my parents found out.
What?
That certainly shocked him. He sniffs, seemingly resisting the urge to wipe his nose against his costume.
I don't...
We're interrupted by the approaching sound of heavy footfalls. TJ blanches, physically covering his muzzle with his paws. Oh, Jesus. Chase! Hajimemashite dozo yoroshiku. Onegaishimasu. The familiar russet-colored wolf emerges from around the corner, his red eyes flicking from me to TJ and finally to the mango in my lap. Motherfucker, Otter. I don't know if that's what it means. I know Madre is mother. I don't know what Puda... Hey, Bree! Whore mother. Ooh. That's a strong... TJ looks at me worriedly, straightening himself up.
TJ, mom's here. You better get to her before she comes in.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Leo. Are you gonna be okay?
He nods, stepping over and patting the link's shoulder. I look down and notice that his knuckle fur is matted with dried blood.
Don't worry about me, huh? It's you two little adventurous scamps that need to take care.
He gives a little nod in my direction, and I make what I think is a smile, though judging by the wolf's concerned look, it didn't come out right. TJ quickly hustles his way outward, nearly running into a boar fellow passing by. I can hear him apologizing profusely, and the boar saying something about Casper needing to chill the fuck out. Meanwhile, Madison is grappling with the fact that Leo seems to be gawking at me, his eyes intense, searching. I swallow, clearing my throat. The hoarseness is gone, but the pain everywhere else sure isn't. Hey, Leo. He folds his arms across his chest, leaning against the windowed wall beside me. There's a brief silence, and I feel his gaze upon me.
How did this happen? Why were you two here?
And fucking just you two. Where's Carl? We've fucking seen most of this. Amelia, what do you say about the things? See, this is what I mean. He's looking at us expectant. He's all tense. And see anything else. We remember what we saw, but it doesn't seem to be anything related to Leo, other than possibly the phrase, this is what you want, or something like that. I think Leo was out fucking. He was out macking on someone out in the middle of the woods and filming it, which would explain the red light. Also, here's another thing that makes me think, this one person invited me and I wasn't going to tell them no. I don't fucking trust. I think he had a booty call at this fucking party. And of course he interrupts it real quick. I was around the corner a few minutes ago. I overheard your little talk with Tej.
Fucking TJ, you dropped this shit about you on him of all people. You know you can talk to me.
Of him? Motherfucker, I'm about to... I would yell at you, but my dog is sleeping, and I fucking love him, and I don't want to wake him up.
Why do you care so much that I told TJ and not you? You didn't tell me about all this.
Yeah, Leo thinks he's the owner of Chase. So you're...
So you're queer now, huh? I get that. Just fuck. Are you trying to put the moves on TJ now or something?
The hell? I'm not trying to court him. I just needed somebody to talk to, okay?
What about Flynn? Are you and him, thing?
Sir, Leo, wide-eyed and gobfounded. Where are you getting that idea from? He's not gay.
He is.
What?
He screws boys, lots of them. You knew.
I don't speak to Flynn as much as we did when we were younger, especially since what happened at the lake. He usually goes off and does his own thing as of late, extra moody-like. Leo would tease that he's going through an emo phase. Meanwhile, Carl says he's just Asperger's and French fries. God damn it. I didn't even get it until I said it. I guess I haven't really talked to them personally enough to see past that.
Have you?
Have I what?
Screwed boys.
It's bulged with such a sharp reaction that even Leo holds up and, yeah.
Shit, alright, you really are new to this, huh?
You could say that, yeah, my parents didn't know until this morning.
You went to innocent-ass TJ out of all people, and you didn't even know about the similar situation with Flynn or me. So, final point, you don't need to bother naive Tej with this sort of thing. You got me to talk to.
Here's a different line. I'm not gonna corrupt TJ or fuck Flynn. You can ease up on the compliments. There you go.
Oh, it's a thing from TJ. There's only one lawgiver and judge. The one who is able to save and destroy. But you, who are you to judge your neighbor?
Who is it?
James 412. I see Leo sort of crane his neck towards my phone, though he quickly recoils as I glance over at him.
Sorry.
It's from TJ. He's being religiously helpful. Managed a goofy smile holding up the screen to Leo. He squints down at it for a moment, then exudes a low smirk, covering his forehead with his paw.
Madre, why can't they all be like Tej, huh?
But who are we to judge? I put on a bit of a voice for that line, Leo groans, nudging me roughly. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have even gone to the party and learned about you and Flynn being like me.
You think this is one of those fate things?
I shrug. But Jasmine will be squealing about, fucking already, mangoes. Oh, yeah, we never did eat the mango. Ah, that sucks. And there's the credits. Cool. So that was TJ's route. Poor mango. Oh, this is a different one. Peyton list admin direct message. If a man has sexual relations with a man, as does a woman, both of them have done what is detestable. They both have been put to death. Their blood will be on their own heads. That fucking... Wait, that was from where? That was probably us getting, like, kicked out of our church. But it's not like we were going anyway, so... Fucking stupid. Anyway, new game. I notice it plays the sound of, opening a door. when it does that. We tried. Yeah, I have a feeling that literally, I don't know if you have a good radio, we might be able to get that hard, bassy techno station from 95.5. Why'd you say this but louder? It's literally the same shit. Okay, fine, I get it. We've already seen Leo path. Maybe it was Carl. No, we saw Carl's path because according to the email, there's 4 routes, despite there being 5 people. So we either saw Carl or Leo's route. Because if you text Leo, you get him saying that he can't do anything, and then you have the option to text someone else. I would like us to choose Jasmine next. All right, so we're going to see the beginning of the Jasmine route. Jasmine, unfortunately, doesn't own a cell phone. Her family struggles with money, so this sort of thing is one hell of a luxury, I guess. I'll have to check in on our place later. I'm about to slide my phone in my pocket when I feel it vibrate against the pads of my palm. Well, that was stupid of me because obvious. She had to borrow our cell phone when we went there during the Carl route, I guess. So if Maestro is to be believed, then we saw Carl's route, which I guess makes sense because we confessed to him. So I guess in every route, you were confessing to whoever's route you chose. So we have seen 2 out of 4, and we're starting on the 3rd. So Flynn is telling us about Gorgonzola, and that was a missent text, as you will find out. And then we say, I'm sure there's a cream for that. It's a type of salad, you musky fuck. Why are you texting me about salad? Holy shit. Oh, well, there's the difference. She asks us how we're doing, and we just say, I'm gay. She makes an acknowledging frown as she takes a seat on the edge of her bed. I didn't know that was a state of doing, but alright. That is certainly something to talk about. Catching Jasmine off guard is a completely rare occurrence, and she is given pause as she gently rolls my phone in her hands. It vibrates once, but she makes no move to answer it. Well, I had my suspicions. You did. You frill your arms when you walk sometimes, and your voice is a slight Valley Girl twang to it when you become excited. Bloodraven22 Red, thank you for the follow, and hello, Stephanie. I look on, visibly mortified at this revelation. Revelation! I did not know that. There's something about your face, too. I can't quite describe it. My jaw drops. Are you saying I have a gay face? She purses her lips, think for a moment. Perhaps to me, in a way. Have you confided this information about you to anyone else? I shake my head. No, you're the first, but I'm flattered that you came to me with this, Chase. I really am. She smiles lightly. If you want me to keep this a secret between us until you're ready to share it with the others, that's something I can do. I bite the inside of my cheek, then slowly move to sit beside Jen on the bed, holding my tail back so my oily fur doesn't musty up the covers. My parents know, so I guess it doesn't matter now. Oh? They caught me looks up gay, not safe for worky stuff on the internet before school today. Jesus. Oh. You have your own laptop for that sort of thing, right? Yeah. Do you think they're gonna take that away from you? Well, yeah, they've grounded me from it for much less. But you didn't do anything wrong, technically. It's only natural that you'd want to explore this sort of thing. I actually have had some manga here that covered topics similar to this. This here briefly glanced to our absent door. Most of them were written by women, though, so I don't know how applicable they would even be to someone like you. I find myself squeezing the end of my tail in my fists. I know I look a bit pathetic doing it, but it calms me for some reason. It's just shitty having them find out this way. I'm gonna be equated to, like, sexual deviancy in their heads from now on. Were you masturbating at the time? Ugh, I nearly wring off the end of my tail. I squeezed so tight, my eyes widening. Yeah. She audibly hums, looking back down at the phone in her hand. I can see why this would make you so uneasy, and even frightened. But this is your parents we're talking about, Chase. I've known them since I was 7 years old. They're good people, understanding. Also, you have a new voicemail from them. I'm aware. Oh.
Would you like to listen to it?
No, I'm good, really. Gotta save that for the end.
You're obviously not, Chase. I know you have your therapist to help you deal with your hallucinations and sleep paralysis, but you should broach this topic as well. I found that building up lots of negative emotions like this tend to attract more bad things. You know what I mean.
And that's Carl. I stiffen when the knocking on the window. It's Carl. Jazz looks to be clutching her legs tightly. God. Carl wanted to wait outside.
I understand.
Yeah. Look at the carpet between my feet, then slowly rise to a stand. Lou's apparently at some party on Route 65.
He didn't tell me about it.
Yeah, apparently he kept it a secret from us. We're gonna go check it out. Would you like to come? She says no. She wouldn't be able to get away for long. Just stay put. Deletes the messenger history. Raise the brow. I hope you get your door back. I hope you get your laptop back. She nods politely, and I make my exit. I don't think anything is different from here on out, other than, like, mentioning later on to Leo that we already told Jenna, but that's a million fucking years away from here. Let's just want to skip this bit. I do not care for this bit. I do not want to watch this bit. I do not wish to relive this bit. Alright, we're heading to the van. Let's see what is it's different. Different words. Have you ever killed anyone? Well, that's the same as it was for Leo. God damn it. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, you faded bitch. Here's something different. Finally found it. I got a text message from you, well, from Jasmine about an hour ago. She said something kind of confusing about you, yeah? I wasn't sure if she meant what I thought she meant, so I looked around a little on your phone while you were out because fuck you. God. Why do you care so much that I told Jasmine and not you? You didn't tell me about all this. So you're queen, I get that, just fuck. You can do so much better than the old sags on Peyton list. Blah-blah-blah. There really doesn't seem to be any fucking difference almost at all.
You know, there's slight differences, so for some reason it won't let me skip.
So literally this is just the fucking same. This is the same for the rest of the entire thing. Literally nothing changes. But, except probably the thing at the end of the credits. So we just gotta fucking... I am so good at skipping on the spacebar, you don't even fucking know. Alright, and credits! Woo! That's why I was recognizing it. The country song that was playing in the bus. That's a country song that's used, I think, in the bar in Blackgate. Or maybe it's just the country song that you can hear on the country station. Okay, here's the after credits thing. What it gonna be? What you gonna do? Oh, got another text. Hey. Hey. Fuck you and your hey. What is this shit? So on one of them, we get a text getting denounced by our church. The other one we get... Hey. And then, I don't even remember what happened after the fucking Leo route. I remember what happened at the end of that one. A website. Oh yeah. I remember that, because it had like an ad for Alan's Bar at the top, which was hilarious. And it is not lost on me that when you scroll over these buttons, it makes it look like they're underwater. We're going straight into it. We're doing the Flynn route. We're going to see what there is to do with the Flynn route, which is going to be interesting. I don't know how that's going to go, but that's why we're playing it. So, skip. Anything but this. What did you say? You want this but louder? Fuck you. Confide with Flynn. I frowned to myself as my thumb pad hovers over Flynn's contact image on the Messenger app. I got Gorgonzola at the mini market in Peyton. His voice is higher again, because it's a prequel. They're in high school. Oh, that's some timing. Honestly, I have no idea what this message means. Instinctively, jabby. After hitting send, I'm not sure that was the right move. Flynn really responds whenever I text him, and that probably didn't boost my odds. Didn't boost my odds. Looking at the bus window, I can see that we're approaching Carl's stop. Holy shit! That skips a lot of the drive, isn't it? It's a type of salad, you musky fuck. Oh. Why are you texting me about salad? Such a funny fucking sentence. So, can I talk to you about something? What? My parents got me looking at gay porn this morning, and I don't know what to do.
Well, that is very blunt.
Jesus fucking Christ, Chase. I haven't told anyone else yet, and I don't know what to do. What in fucking hell made you pick me to drop this shit on? Has somebody told you something? God, I don't know, and no one has told me anything. How'd your parents take it? I don't know. Kind of badly, I think. I didn't stick around, had to catch the bus. Just don't want to go home right now. I'm unloading freight tonight. I'd tell you to call Jazz since she's better with this sort of shit, but I can't get a hold of her either. Shit, should I check up on her? I was going to after work. Her tit-dirt parents have been cunty as of late. You can if you want, but I doubt your pansy self can hand a jar if we already know. Look, don't know if I'm supposed to tell you this, but Leo about the party. Oh boy. Oh god. I feel so bad about how we treat Carl. You're welcome. I gotta go. Try not to suck too much cock on your way there. So it begins.
So I guess nothing's really gonna change between now and when when we talk to Leo about it. We get into the van. Get in there, you fuck. Alright, so let's see if the have you ever killed anyone? See, that's interesting because I'm staring right at you, motherfucker. I see you and fuck off. That is interesting. The only wording that was any different was for the fact that TJ is the only one that has any different text there. Really says something about the fact that since TJ was the only one to see what happened. What exactly did he see? Oh my god, fuck, man. I saw your text message with Flynn. Fucking Flynn? Why him? Why do you care so much that I told Flynn and not you? You didn't tell me about all this. So you quit now, I just got this just for you do so much better than Flynn. The hell? I'm not trying to court him. I just needed somebody to talk to. He's not gay. He is. What? He screws boys. Lots of them. Thought you knew. So final point, don't fuck Flynn. Okay, so this is different. So I remember he was saying that all this is helping, freaking me out for sure, but I'm glad you're here. I'll make all that right. I get a text to feel my phone vibrate against my thigh, my heart sinking. I realized quickly though that it's just a text message, not another call from my parents. Mom and Dad don't send a text message, and Mom and Dad haven't sent a text message in their lives, as far as I know, saying they prefer talk as short text messages can lead to confusion. I do agree with them on that second bit. It's true. Just had gorgonzola salad and it was delicious. Also, Jazz is fine now. How goes your newly opened closet? Who is it? I see Leo sort of crane his neck toward my phone, and then he quickly recoils as I glance over at him. Sorry. It's alright. And it's from Flynn. He tossed his salad. I manage a goofy smile. Look up the screen to Leo. He squints for a moment, exudes a low rumbling groan, covering his forehead with his paw. He wouldn't shut up about that stupid gonorrhea lettuce or whatever. Jesus. I wonder if it's called at lunch today. Apparently it's got like dried cherries, almonds, and granola custard mixed up with the lettuce. Oh shit, we responded. Haven't gotten home yet, got in a fight, saw some hallucinations, and Leo read my text with you. What an asswipe. You two hook up yet? You serve it with expensive pear vinaigrette stuff. Oh good, we get to do this double reading bullshit again. I loved it so much the first time. Do they usually give you a packet of it and salad stuff? What do you mean? I mean, it sounds really tasty. Is the most food on the planet, but still good. I wouldn't eat it myself, though. I'd eat it outside, cheap-ass cheese bread. I haven't eaten since lunch. I'm really fucking hungry.
He's a big cock gobbler, too. Hence why I sent your musky ass to him and his secret shit party. You two could all be all emotionally vulnerable together and shit. Son of a bitch. Flynn was playing fucking matchmaker. I look over at Leo, his head tilted one side, his lips pursed. The thing he does when he's really curious about something. He did that same face as a little kid, too, usually when he had no idea what we were saying in English and was feeling left out. Seeing him now like this, I think I actually feel more grateful to Flynn than anything. Still, I'm left with a nagging question. He said you're gay, too. Why didn't you tell me?
What's happening now?
Me going to the party and confiding in you that I was gay was part of his plan, apparently. I'm asking why he didn't tell me he was gay.
Really? I feel like I should thank him or something.
I decay, I'd show you eventually anyway. What the fuck does that mean?
I bet Jasmine would be squealing when she hears about all this shit.
Oh, that's a line from later.
Show me what? Like one of her comments, the mangoes.
Mangas. How old are you again?
Oh no. Oh no.
15. Why? Oh, Jesus.
Never mind.
Oh. Ooh. Oh, that's not good. That's not... Weird. The hell was that about? What? He's talking about his dick. He did dick. He started showing Leo the new messages, but he seems sort of distracted now. He looks genuinely happy. I mean, a little sweaty, fidgety, blood splattered, but so am I. The idea of ruining that field makes me feel miserable, though Flynn's whole behavior, knowing everything about him now, is kind of boggling in contrast to his usual self. Why didn't he eat the mango? I exhale and do my best to recombobulate, shifting my attention to the big old wolf currently holding my hand and looking at me expectantly. Don't ever get too comfortable with that sort of thing. I did, now everything's fucked for me in the eyes of my folks.
Your parents probably gonna search this phone when you get home. Delete all this.
Will do.
Don't triple dot me. Just do it, dumbass.
Slide my phone back in my pocket. That's enough Flynn for now, I guess. And that's interesting in a sense because in Flynn's route, we fuck him. We fuck him. And credits.
Alright, so let's see what's at the end of this here credits.
Okay, what is it going to be? Parents are probably going to say, we'll do, don't triple dot me, just do it, dumbass. Oh. Oh. Oh, okay. Well, that's us deleting our text history with Flynn. Okay. That's it for Echo Route 65. I believe we've done everything there is to do, so thank you all very much. And I guess we'll see you on the next episode of Echo whenever it gets updated.